The following is an exclusive presentation of the Dragon Sports Network.
You are looking live at Paul H. Muse Field at David Carpenter Stadium, where tonight in the border town, Junction City, fresh off of a move back to Class 3A, opens its 113th season of play against a familiar South Arkansas foe in Camden Harmony Grove. It's a season chock full of storylines, and it starts tonight as the Dragons and Hornets tangle for the 25th time in a top 15 matchup to kick off the season. Folks, the wait is over. Football is back, and for the 10th consecutive season, we've got you covered with all the action live from start to finish on the Dragon Sports Network. Good evening. I'm Jacob Pumphrey, and I'm atop the Emerson Brewer press box. And, folks, this is an exciting time here along the state line. I'm joined alongside Wayne Pumphrey and Brennan Cupp. And, fellas, I mentioned it last week before Junction City and Hamburg got together for a scrimmage that the longest time in this life is from the last football game to kickoff of the first one of a season. But I tell you what, the wait is over. We've made it. We've made it, fellas. It's back.
It is indeed back. And, Jacob, I tell you what, you mentioned storylines. There is a ton of them. And the gentleman standing here beside me, Mr. Brennan Cupp, we have talked about it. One of the things, of course, the size of this Junction City squad. You're going into 3A. You're coming in with, I believe, 23, 24 players. Of course, being in shape, being ready to play is going to be one of the question marks. But, Brennan, what is the one thing you're looking for out of this team tonight? You know, you saw the scrimmage.
Man, I just want to see some effort, Wayne. I mean, we got some kids on the outside, like you said. We got a 6'4" receiver and a 6'5" receiver. If we can just get them the ball, give us some time to get them the ball, and that'll open up your running backs as well, if you can get them the ball.
That's the key, and that's one of the storylines, Jacob, you was talking about them. That's one I'm going to be looking at. Can we get the ball to those two big receivers?
Yeah, when you talk about that, it's going to start up front. It's got to start up front with that offensive line. You've got to be able to hold your blocks, maintain your blocks, give Corey to boast. Like Brennan just said, you've got playmakers on the edge. You've got a playmaker that's going to touch the football every play, wearing number 6 tonight. But you got to give them time. You give them time, good things will happen.
Indeed, and Brendan touched on it just then. You talk about the running attack. They got the backs to do it, and that's what's crazy. Yeah, you look at the size of the squad, but there is talent there in the skill positions. The key, and one of the big storylines for this entire season, however far the Dragons go, will depend. Here's the two words we're probably going to talk about a lot: the offensive line.
Captains are making their way to the middle of the field in the white tops, black pants, white helmets, the Harmony Grove Hornets, the 5th-ranked team in Class 3A according to Hootens.com. Captains for the Hornets, number 4, Gabe Johnson, number 5, Shamar Patterson, number 44, Lane Davis, and number 75, David Mack. For Junction City, number 65, Brian Estrada, number 10, St. Anthony Williams, number 6, Corey DeBose, and number 2, Jacorian Key. They meet at the middle of the field. And I tell you what, gentlemen, it's one of those things where you just said it, Wayne, conditioning is going to play a big part. It's a nice night out here tonight, especially for late August in South Arkansas. But it's one of those things, once you get in game mode, even last week, coaches and even players will tell you, yeah, we were going against a different team, but it still wasn't that full-on game atmosphere. It still had a little bit of control to it. Well, the control's off tonight, and it'll be interesting to see how conditioning, if it favors either team through the latter part of the game.
One more thing, Jacob, you was talking about this beautiful evening. The sun is out. It was out for a little while, got on the field just a little bit, but not near enough. The field drains very well. I mean, I was over here a couple of afternoons checking out with Coach Carpenter. It drains very well, but it's still, if you look closely, you can see from about around the 20-yard line on down to the other 20, you'll see spots that are dark green. They're still watertight, kind of in there. So footing is going to be a key, the field holding up well, because we have got a ton of rain down here in the border town.
Harmony Grove wins the coin toss. I believe they deferred to the second half, so I believe we'll see the Junction City offense to start things off here tonight. Week 0 of the 2022 Arkansas high school football season. It's a top 15 matchup. We mentioned it earlier, the 25th time these two teams have tangled on the gridiron. Dragons lead the all-time series 13-11. The Hornets, though, they've won the last 3. Junction City's last victory, a 52-50 thriller in 2018 here at the Muse. And here come the Junction City Dragons to the field as we are just moments away from kickoff. Wayne, I'll throw this to you real quick as the Hornets take the field out of the south end zone. what's something that you have to see from Junction City early? I'm talking about within the first couple of plays of the game. What do you have to see from the Dragons?
I'm going to start with defense, Jacob. When the defense takes the field first couple, I want to see them be as dominant as they were with Hamburg. I want to see that effort continue, and Brendan touched on that. I just want to see effort. Well, same thing from the defense. From the offense, I'm going to look at one thing. Here we go again, offensive line. If the offensive line can maintain blocks, and folks, I kid you not, for about 2.5 seconds, and I know that's a lot when you're down on that line, we got the skill guys to move the ball. That's the two things I'm looking at.
What about you, Brendan, real quick before kickoff?
I'm kind of like him, man. Just set the tone on the offensive line. Let's start it out the gate right. Let's get the ball moving.
Indeed.
Junction City with the kick return unit on the field. 2 returners. To the far side will be Jordavian Williams, and it will go through, most likely will go through him on the ground to start things off. And to the near side of the field for Junction City, number 2, Jacorian Key, the senior. A lot of length there from Key. He'll definitely certainly be a target of DuBose tonight and throughout the season. And teeing things up from his own 40-yard line for the Hornets will be number 51, Tyler McCann. Beautiful night for football here in the border town. 83 degrees, wind at about 4 to 5 miles per hour. And we are just seconds away from kickoff. The 113th season of Junction City football is underway. Line drive kick, fielded at the 15. That's Key. He'll work straight up the middle. He'll bounce it left, runs through 1 tackle, met by a couple of Hornets. He'll be wrapped up, and whistles will blow the play dead as Key will move it from the 15 to the 31, a return of 16, and that's where we'll see DuBose and company for the first time tonight.
Here we go, boys. Here we go.
It's going to be interesting, Jacob, to see what Junction comes out with, because you know Coach Carpenter, they looked at the film and all. Do we try to come out and just establish a running attack? Do we try to do something to kind of throw the Harmony Grove defense off and then come out and try to set up the running attack?
4 wide receivers for Junction City, 3 to the top of the formation in a trip set. DuBose takes the snap. He's going to roll right. He's going to tuck it. Thought about potentially throwing it, still on his feet, and that's going to be a good gain from Corey. He'll move it up to around the 39-yard line. We'll give him 7. That's where they'll mark it as he moves it to the far hash. It'll be a very manageable second down here, 30 seconds into the contest.
Very interesting to see Junction City come out with a 4 wide receiver set.
He didn't get hit as soon as he snapped the ball. I like to see that.
Yeah, that's
he had some space there.
Key, Talon Owens, and Jackson Thurman, the trip set to the left of the formation. Williams set to the left of DuBose. And he will roll left. Got plenty of time. He's going to heave one up down the middle of the field, and it is intercepted at the 26-yard line. Returning it for the Hornets, that's going to be Landon Garrett, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped at around the 41-yard line. The Hornets sideline is fired up. There is a flag on the play, although it was late, so I don't know if the interception will stand. We'll let the officiating crew determine what happens. DuBose, he had plenty of time to throw, fellas, but he threw it up into double coverage. Receiver fell down, and actually Garrett had to step over another defender in order to secure the football.
Yeah, not really what you want to see them do right there. I know they wanted to go deep, but with them receivers being the size they are, you could have them driving deep and then cut back, and they're going to be wide open.
And so the flag was after the interception, so it'll be marked off against the Hornets. They were originally going to spot the football at the 41. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty. And so Harmony Grove will have it 1st and 10 from their own 31. They'll be moving left to right on the screen. Thank you to those who are tuning in on through the radio. Glad to have you on board again with us this year. 10 minutes to play, first quarter action. It's going to be a shotgun set back to either side of the All-State quarterback from a season ago, Caleb Johnson. Johnson takes the snap. They're going to keep it on the ground. Going to have to bounce it out right. Estrada pursuing. And good tackle there from Estrada. Going to be a solid gain on the first down carry from Landon Garrett, who just picked off the Corey DuBose pass to give the Hornets the football.
Jacob, Coach Carpenter talked about on his show, Coach Arnie Horskamp, if I can get his name right, this is one of his best teams he's had as he went to Harmony Grove and started building them up. A lot of juniors, a lot of seniors. They're expecting a big year out of this team. And, of course, as you mentioned before, they're coming in ranked 5th in the state.
Ball spotted near hash, 36-yard line, 5-yard gain from Garrett on the first down carry. Hornets will move to a trips formation to the far side of the field. Dragons still trying to get set defensively. Spot out pass. That's going to be caught by Garrett. He's going to pick up the first down and a little bit more as he's forced out of bounds as he gets north of the 45-yard line. Give him the 47. So the pitch and the catch there, good for a Hornet first down.
A very good play right there by Harmony Grove to throw Junction City off. Like you said, the Dragons wouldn't see it. But you want to see the defense kind of settle down here. Don't let them get anything else going. And let's get the ball back to the offense.
Gabe Johnson, the lone receiver for the Hornets, to the short side of the field. Caleb Johnson scans. Plenty of time to throw back there. Now going to be pursued, and it's going to pick up a couple of yards. Actually, probably get a couple of more there as he tight-roped the sideline. He's going to get across midfield down into Dragon territory. He's going to be just shy of the Junction City 47. So what looked like about a 2-yard gain, he's able to pull off somewhat of a circus act, pick up about 3 or 4 more, and it's going to be about second down and a long 5 here for Harmony Grove.
You know, you talk about dual threat quarterbacks, and most of the time they're real strong in one area, and the other area they're okay in. This young man is solid in both of them. He can run and he can definitely throw.
Shotgun split backs the formation for CHG. They're going to keep it on the ground. And right up the gut and for a first down is Demarion Billingsley, just a sophomore, 5'10", 157. He certainly looks a little thicker than 157.
Yeah, he does.
And that was a powerful run there to pick up a first down. So far, gentlemen, Harmony Grove kind of having their way with Junction City, whether it's on the ground, some spot-out passes, kind of moving the ball around, getting it to their playmakers, and they find themselves in Dragon territory here on their first offensive drive. After the change reset, first down and 10. Johnson takes his time at the line of scrimmage. Guard's going to pull. They're going to keep it on the ground. That's Garrett, and another solid gain from Landon Garrett, listed as a wide receiver. Seen him a lot out of the backfield so far tonight.
Jacob, Junction City and the folks can tell back home doing a lot of substituting already, especially on the defensive line.
That's big Javion that come in, man. He's a difference maker for the Dragons, number 50.
Defensive line was definitely a bright spot for Junction City in the scrimmage last week. Certainly like to see those fellas start to impact this game a little bit more as Grove continues to drive down the field. Second down and 5. Single back to the right of Johnson. He's going to be forced out. He's going to move left. I think they're going to get him for a hold. Pass is going to be just lobbed up there, and it's picked off. And Junction City will be Junction City football because, that's got to be a holding penalty, but the main thing is DuBose had plenty of
I don't know why
he had plenty of room to potentially get a return out of that, but instead Junction City, the main thing is, gentlemen, they've got the football back.
Yeah. I was kind of looking at what y'all were looking at. I saw a lot of space.
There's a lot of real estate
but
there.
We'll take the football.
We will take the football. So Junction City holds, and we just mentioned it, called him at the right time. That defensive line finally was able to push through, forced him out. Johnson, definitely a throw he wants to have back. So both quarterbacks with passes intercepted, attempts that they want to have back. Each team's had the football. Now Junction City's got its second drive, 7:32 to play here in quarter number 1.
Jacob, talking about that push they got through. Like what I saw, they kept substituting guys in and out till they got what they wanted, and it showed right there.
DuBose and Williams going to be a direct snap to Jordavion, folks, and he's going to move up to around the 10-yard line, so it'll be a minimal gain, about 2 yards as he gets to the 10, so a direct snap to number 4 there. It'll be second down and 8 as the clock nears the 7-minute mark here in quarter number 1.
Owens checking in for the Dragons, bringing the play in. And, Jacob, they may have to try to just go back to the air and stay there for a while.
If you establish it, that's going to open lanes for the runners.
Indeed.
Williams to the left of DuBose. Out of the shotgun, twins to both sides of the formation. Corey takes a snap, bounces around. Now he's going to move to his right, throws on the run, and the pass is incomplete. 2 Dragons in the same area, Thurman and I believe that was Carter. Jay Carter out there on the edge, so I'm not sure if that was just –
I don't think that was by design.
I think they might have just tried to – I don't know if one was scurrying because he saw DeBose take off around the right side, and they both kind of ended up in the same area, but the pass falls incomplete. Stops the clock, 6:37. Still scoreless here in the border town. Season opener for both clubs, week 0 here in the state of Arkansas.
And Jacob, these receivers, and one thing that's probably the coaches are going to talk to them about as time progresses, you're going to have to start coming back to the ball.
DeBose scans the defense. They're going to operate out of the pistol and whistles at the snap. Flag come from the back judge, and it's going to be a delay of game on Junction City. Took a little too much time there to get the play off. And, Wayne, it makes you wonder if it's somewhat of a depth issue as while they're trying to get the play in, it's taking them a little while to get the play in so the guys can catch their breath knowing that it's limited on who can come in and sub guys out.
Absolutely, Jacob, I agree. It may be, hey, we're going to have to do this. We got to buy. You're buying time. You're buying rest time.
Junction City from their own 5, they're going to give to Williams, and he's going to muster a couple of yards up to around the 7. And so that's going to bring up 4th down, and the Dragons are going to be forced to punt here.
You know, DeBose has some time, though. I mean, he didn't have time last week, but the offensive line is doing a better job of protecting him so far.
And on top of that, we've also seen him become more mobile early, which is going to help him find himself ways to get the football out. Somewhat of a high snap. It's corralled. It's going to be a high punt, and Garrett's going to fair catch it at the 40. So a good job getting the punt off. And Harmony Grove going to have really good field position here at their Junction City 40-yard line. 6:19 to play here in quarter number 1.
I want to see Davis make a big play on the defensive line right here.
And you want
to see it set the tone.
Yeah. I just want to touch on this real quick and go back. You know, it was good we got the interception, but this team, one thing that's got to be understood, you got to look for opportunities. DeBose had a lot of room to run on that interception. And
flip the field position.
Yeah, you look, here's what's happened. Now they're starting from the Dragon 40.
Split back out of the shotgun. And good stop up there, the defensive front. Big number 50, Javion Davis, the junior.
He's a man.
Got every bit of Billingsley there. And that's going to be a 2-yard loss. TFL for the big fella up front. 2nd down and 12 now. Clock ticks under 6 minutes here in the opening quarter. Both teams have possessed it twice. Grove currently on their 2nd offensive possession, and you could see there was some issues there as Johnson was trying to hurry people to the line. The trip set was still trying to get the play from the sideline, and so that's going to back them up even further. So that benefits Junction City. That'll put the football back up to the Junction City 47-yard line.
Well, Jacob, it worked for Brennan. I'm going to try it. I want to see a big play out of number 50 here again.
He fits the bill.
Yes, he does. You got him behind the chains. Let's keep him there.
Grove breaks the huddle. They'll operate with a twin set to both sides of the formation. They'll keep it tight to the left side. Billingsley the back to Johnson. He's in the right, and they're going to run the option here. Johnson's going to keep it, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage and still has some more, and he's going to be wrapped up and tossed out of bounds, and that is going to make it a very manageable 3rd down situation here for Harmony Grove as Johnson on 2nd and 17. I believe he picked up 14. Should make it 3rd and 3 for the Hornets.
And Jacob, I noticed something else, and Harmony Grove, definitely going to take a look at it. I guarantee you the coaches in the box will see it. They got the slant to their advantage on the last couple of plays. The Dragons are playing it up tight, but they do have the slant working for them.
It all comes back to lane discipline in situations like that. You got to stay in your lane. That's going to be a 1st down and a little bit more for the running back there, Landon Garrett. And so they might need to revamp the roster before next week. Just put ATH beside his name because he's done a little bit of it all tonight.
Buddy, he's an Army knife right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, of the Swiss variety. Indeed. It's going to be 1st and 10. And so just when Junction City thought they might have had the Hornets where they wanted them, 2nd and 17, 2 plays later, it's a first down for CHG. And they are just outside the red zone here. Trips to the right. It's going to be a spot pass, pressured early. Good job there. Davis and Estrada both applying pressure early. The thing is, if Patterson's able to haul that in, he would have had a lane there to potentially find the end zone, but forced the pass in and out of the hands, and so it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. It's there for them, and give the Dragons credit. Like you said, they got the pressure in there, and they're going to have to keep pressure on them, but it's going to have to be contained pressure. You talked about it a while ago, lane discipline. Stay in your lanes.
Johnson scans the defense, and he's going to give to Billingsley. He'll work over left guard, and he is met at that first line of defense. First one on the scene, Jalen Ivey, the junior. And Ivey just stuck him in the hole, and he had really nowhere to go, and allowed a little bit of that back or that front 7 to help him out there. 3rd down, going to put it just behind the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 11 now. 4:41, 4:40, 4:39. Clock rolling here in the border town. First quarter action. Johnson to throw. He's got plenty of time. He's going to bounce out to his right. Throws on the run. Got a man. He had a man. He had a man wide open in the end zone. That was Patterson. I don't know if it was a bad case of hearing the footsteps or what, but he was. You don't get more open than that. And
I heard somebody coming.
Them footsteps were a pretty good way away, though.
They were. Because the thing is, if you haul it in, it's 6. Whistles blow. You don't have to worry about a hit, and if you do, you might have an easier extra point, but it benefits the Dragons, and really kind of in no man's land here. They're going to have to go for it. 4th and 11 from the 21, just outside the red zone. They've got to get to the 10. Johnson to throw. He's going to throw one, and that's too far. Out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Caught out of bounds, and so the Dragon defense, 2nd consecutive drive. That's got Coach Smith fired up, and rightfully so.
They gotta get some first downs here, boys.
I got a quick question. I just want to ask. Maybe y'all can help me out because I'm asking for a friend. If an offensive lineman tackles a defensive lineman, is that holding?
We're going to go ahead and lean with a yes.
Okay, I'm just
I've
checking.
seen it, but
It also depends what county you're in as well.
Oh, well, amen to that.
10th year into this, Wayne. You ought to know that.
Yeah. There's a couple of counties I'm probably not allowed back into. You know that, too.
You're probably right about that.
We need a couple first downs here. Keep the defense off the field. Give them a break. They did their job.
Just a couple. If nothing else, let's flip this field back and put them on the other end.
4:22 to play here, opening quarter. 3rd offensive possession for Junction City. Dragons will operate out of the pistol. DeBose to trigger it, and he will bounce left and cut it up across the grain, and he'll pick up not a bad gain there on a first down carry. 3 yards, bring up 2nd down and 7.
It's a positive first down, though. We can live with that.
Something that might consider is cutting out routes off shorter. Drive them deep because Harmony Grove's convinced they're going to try to go deep on just about everything. Drive them like you're going deep and then come back. Let's see if we can get a little something going.
Key will bring the play into the Junction City huddle. Two receivers set to the right, twins set to the left. Williams set to the throwing arm of DeBose. DeBose initially going to roll out right, he's going to keep it, bounces around, and actually that was Williams that spurted through there. I thought that might have been DeBose, but it's going to be a positive gain up to the 30-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and we'll call it 3.
Yeah.
Just on the south side of the 30-yard line.
I saw what you saw. I saw Jordavion come out, and, boy, I thought it was it.
Ball on the 30-yard line.
You can kind of see, Wayne, some of that depth, Brennan. You can kind of see Dragons trying to catch their breath, and it's coming from those two-way guys, which makes it you understand. It's coming from those two-way guys, especially the way the defense has been playing, and that's probably a good timeout there. 3rd and 3, you got an opportunity to extend a drive, and so a good timeout. 2:54 to play, first quarter action, scoreless from the border town. We're back in 60 on the Dragon Sports Network. coming out of the timeout. Junction City facing a 3rd down and 3, 2:54 to play in the first quarter action. Been some back and forth action. Seen some good plays defensively on both sides of the football. Harmony Grove hoping to add another solid defensive play to their ledger tonight. Junction City looking to keep their offensive drive alive. They break the huddle. Twins to the far side of the field. Near side of those of you watching online, they'll give it to Jordavian Williams. He'll bounce around, makes one man miss. He's going to be awfully close to the first down marker. I don't know if he was able to stretch enough. It'll be an interesting spot here, but a good job to even make it close as he was met early. Made a man miss.
Holy Moses.
And that's going to be a first down for Junction
I thought
City.
he got it.
When I saw him put the yard marker, I'm like, goodness gracious.
Going to be a first down for the Dragons, and that will extend the drive as the football spotted at the 32-yard line.
And Jacob, there's big plays, and you're looking at one right there because you're trying to establish a flow to this game. Both teams are. Harmony Groves has some success, but the Dragons, they needed that one.
Bad.
And now you build on it.
Oh, they ain't got enough. Oh, never mind.
And Dragons are going to break the huddle. Had one too many in the huddle. DeBose is going to roll out. He's going to get a block from Williams, a good block at that, and he's going to toss one up left side. He's got a man. Oh, he had him by just about a half a step. A little too much on him. Was trying to connect with Owens. Like I said, a half a step on his defender.
Look who was guarding him, Jacob.
Yeah, he's been everywhere tonight. He has absolutely been all over the field tonight. Landon Garrett, the junior, listed at 5'11", 158. Plays like he's 6'1", 200.
He's an athlete. There ain't no doubt.
Second down and 10. Won't show up in tomorrow's box score, gentlemen, but a good block out there by Jordavian Williams. He hung with it, allowed DeBose to at least bounce around that outside and get a pass off. You definitely like to see that, especially from the running back position. Trips to the left, and they're going to keep it on the ground. Williams going to follow a block, and he's going to be met by a backside defensive lineman, and any forward progress stopped immediately.
Yeah, that one closed quick.
They're going to give him about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. We'll call it 3rd and a long 8 here for the Dragons. Clock had stopped momentarily.
Yeah, that's what I was looking
now
at.
It bounces under 2 minutes. Key and Carter, the receivers, a lot of length on that left side. DeBose looks at him before the snap, and he's going to bounce around. Makes one man miss. He's still on his feet and lost his footing there at the 32-yard line. Was trying to turn it upfield. They had the spot pass set up. DeBose saw something he didn't like, decided to go against it, and was met by a couple of Grove defenders that forced him to tuck the football.
Key had a lot of space if he could have got that pass off when his defender bit towards Corey. Ooh.
Final 90 seconds here in the first quarter. 4th down and 7 for Junction City.
Got to run with your head up so you can see that.
Yep.
The Dragons have kind of turned to somewhat of a short kick. And that's going to be a pretty – actually, it's going to go line drive right to Garrett.
What you didn't want to do.
And Garrett's going to reverse field. He's back across the grain. He's going to be across the 35-30, 25-20, and DeBose is able to wrap him up, and he's going to be inside the red zone, just inside the 20. A really good return there from Landon Garrett.
Heard that name several times during this.
Several times, that's right.
He's mentioned his name.
55-yard return from Landon Garrett, and that's going to put Grove in really good position here with 50 seconds to play in the opening quarter.
That punt would have been 15 yards to the right. We were looking at something nice here.
That's what when I saw they were going to do, the short or the quick kick like that, I thought, well, maybe they're trying to kick it away from him. The one thing you didn't want to do is kick it right to him.
Yeah, kick it right to him because you have no coverage down there. Billingsley has it. He bounces it out left side, has some blocks downfield from some running backs, and he is going to saunter into the end zone, tripped up at the goal line, but he is in for a touchdown. A 55-yard punt return sets up a 20-yard carry from number 22, Demarion Billingsley, and the sophomore hits pay dirt, and Grove takes a 6-0 lead over the Dragons with 42 ticks left in the opening 12 minutes of play.
He had a hole there, a big one.
Good downfield blocking from the trip side of the formation.
That's what I was just going to say, Jacob. Really good job blocking downfield by the Hornets.
Tyler McCann in to attempt the extra point. It'll come off the hold of number 44, Lane Davis. Movement up front. They're going to get a false start. So yeah, the right wing bounced early. So good job by Junction City. Take advantage of that. And so that's going to make it just a little bit further there for McCann. And Wayne, we've seen probably more so the last couple of years, the extra point be more impactful in some of these seasons maybe than in previous years. So it's always huge when you have that unit on the field.
Indeed.
Good snap. The hold is down, and McCann's kick is, I think it's short.
It's
short.
No good.
No good. So the score will hold at 6. Timeout on the field. 42 seconds to play in the first quarter. Harmony Grove 6, Junction City 0. We're back into 60 on the Dragon Sports Network. McCann with it teed up for the Hornets. It was a 20-yard rush from Billingsley, and that's the difference so far here in this one, as that one's going to be end over end, fielded at about the 12, out of the grip of DeBose. He picks it up, gets a block, bounces around, still on his feet. He's going to get it north of the 20-yard line up to around the 24, so that's where Junction City will have it with 36 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Just looking for that one big play, Jacob. One big play they can just change the momentum on this sideline. I mean, man, just one.
Well, you saw it on the other side of the ball. The big play didn't come necessarily offensively. It came special teams. Line drive punt right to him. Junction City's coverage unit hadn't had a chance to get down the field. Guy takes it 55.
Next play,
20 to the house. So you're right, Brendan. Just one play here, kind of get that ball to midfield, across midfield, and you kind of put some pressure on that Hornet defense. Bo's out of the shotgun. Tosses over. That's going to be complete. Bouncing around. You got to get north. You got to get north and south in this game. I believe that was Owens on the reception.
Yeah, east-west doesn't work. It's got to be north-south.
Corian Key brings the play into the huddle to the Bows. Break the huddle.
If I'm Junction, don't run it. You need that little bit of break, and I think it's going to get them anyway. Yeah, it's got them.
And that'll do it. First quarter is in the books. The only difference in this one, a 20-yard run by Demarion Billingsley. It's 6-0 Harmony Grove over the Dragons. 12 minutes in. Next 12 coming up. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back to Junction City. Quarter change here on the state line. Harmony Grove 6, the Dragons 0. they'll swap sides of the field. Dragons with it offensively, facing a 2nd down and 9. And guys, we were talking about during the minute holdover. You want to see a spark offensively from Junction City, just to kind of more so get that confidence going, because we know they've got playmakers on that side of the football. You just got to get something positive happening in that direction and hope it starts to snowball.
Right. Absolutely. Just one play at a time.
And that's a good point. One play, and when we say something positive, it ain't got to be the bomb. We're going deep. Run some slant, run something across. You got it. They cannot hold these guys. Harmony Grove cannot hold those 2 receivers. I'm sorry. One of them is going to bust open. You got to make some plays to make it work for you.
Second quarter just about underway. Whitehat was talking to Coach Carpenter, which we mentioned. We'll get into a lot of that later. Talked about those storylines, chock full of storylines. Certainly that gentleman being back on the sideline with a headset is at the top of that list. Second quarter underway. DeBoe's out of the shotgun. Williams set to his right. Dragons moving left to right. Pressured early. Going to sling one down the middle of the field and just a little out front of his intended target, Jay Carter. I tell you what, if Carter is able to reach that in stride,
he's gone.
That's the play we're probably talking about, gentlemen. That's the one they would have needed. DeBoe saw some pressure early. Did a good job of stepping up in the pocket to get that pass off, but just a little too far out of the reach of Carter.
The inside receiver, Jacob, on that play, before I couldn't get it out in time, if he makes the cut to the inside, he can beat his coverage. There's no help. There's nobody there. The closest person there is the guy standing there by the athletic trainer, and he's on the sideline over there. It's there if Junction can connect.
They'll run trips to the short side of the field. DeBose will keep it. He'll cut across grain. He's going to have a first down and a little bit more and lowers his shoulder, shows a little bit of that physicality. He moves up across the 40-yard line. They'll mark him at the 42. Hey, that's positive enough right there, gentlemen. A first down for the Dragons. 11:49 to go before the break.
He put his head down on that one. There was no hesitation. He went for it.
Clock continues to run here. Dragons making some substitutions upon that offensive line, trying to keep bodies as fresh as they can. Good play design there. They ran trips to the short side of the field. We're going to run with DeBose back to the far side. He cut back across the grain, had a lot of running room. And they're facing a first down and 10 because of it. Now he's going to have to sprint out. Good block by Williams still. And
good play. Good
decision.
No, I like
good
that.
Decision.
Good decision right
Throw
there.
it away. And we got a late flag.
I believe it's going to be intentional ground. He didn't get past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he
receiver was in the vicinity, but the receiver was 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So
I couldn't tell if they were hand fighting back here, but I'm with you. It was a couple yards short.
He was in the tackle box, which is fine.
But if he has a receiver in the area,
he has to get the ball past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was 2 yards.
So it's going to be grounding, and.
Right idea, just a little short.
Yeah, big step forward and a couple steps backwards. It's going to put Junction City at their own 27-yard line. Ball spotted, far side of the field. Owens brings the play into the huddle. 11:20 to play, second quarter action, 6-point ball game here along the state line. Thank you for tuning in this evening. 113th season of Junction City football is underway. This is year number 10 of the Dragon Sports Network. DeBose to throw off his back foot, slings one up left side, and it is going to be intercepted at the Harmony Grove 40. There he is again, number 6 with his second interception of the game. And so the only positive, I think, gentlemen, that you can take out of that is the fact that it somewhat flipped the field to an extent. It's going to at least put Harmony Grove on their side of midfield. Here with 11:14 to play in the second quarter.
Well, the first thing first, the receiver's going to have to fight for the ball some. I mean,
they're giving up on it.
They're giving up on the route. You got to fight. I mean, your quarterback's – it ain't like he's sitting back there and got an all-pro offensive line. These guys are trying. They're doing a lot better than they did against Hamburg. You got to help them out a little bit. The receivers have got to do their part. If nothing else, if they see he's in a bind, break the route off and cut back. Those guys cannot keep up with them, and those receivers have got to realize that.
Harmony Grove now going to change up a look. They're going to operate out of the pistol. Billingsley set as Davis moves in motion from right to left. Keep it on the ground. Billingsley shot out of a cannon up across midfield. First down carry for their main running back tonight in Demarion Billingsley. He's got to at least be over about 75 yards, I think, on the ground. Gentlemen, he also has the touchdown back late in the first quarter.
Jacob, if he don't, he's close. I'll say that right now.
One more thing. Let's get away from Landon Garrett offensively because he's putting up a heck of a game here early.
Well, yeah, that's what you or Jacob one touched on earlier. Go to the other guy. Go to the other side of the
anywhere
field.
Away from him.
Yeah, get away from. Challenge the other one.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. From just inside Junction City territory at the 49. Whistles before the snap. Should be a false start. Looked like it was that far side, that right side of the Hornet offensive line. And that's what they're going to tab them with. False start to back them up back into Junction City territory to the Dragon 45.
False start on the offense.
You got them behind the chains here. Let's keep them behind and force that punt and get the ball back.
First down with 15 to go.
First and 15 for Grove. Out of the pistol. Billingsley set behind Johnson. They're going to pull two offensive linemen over to the right, and Billingsley's going to be met. He was met actually initially in the backfield, was able to get out of that tackle, but then a good hit there from Jackson Thurman, the sophomore.
Very good hit.
Coming in to make the tackle.
That was Hudson he got away from initially, wasn't it?
I believe so.
That's not an easy one to get away from.
It's not.
I don't know how much Jackson weighs, Jacob, but when he hit him, he put every ounce in it.
That's it.
He brought everything.
And you said sophomore on Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Good deal.
I like that.
Low snap, handled by Johnson. He's going to be pressured right up the middle. He's going to somehow get out of it. He's going to keep it on the ground right side, and I believe he's going to pick up the first down as a result. Just like that, Dragons had plenty of they had him where they wanted him. Credit Johnson. He was able to bounce out of it, and now you see Harmony Grove trying to run somewhat of the hurry up. They know Junction City's going to be gassed after that, especially up front where they've had most of their success defensively. And so they're going to apply the pressure to the Dragons. There go split backs out of the shotgun. Johnson will keep it right up the gut. Makes a man miss. Makes another man miss. 15, 10, 5, foot race to the house. And it's a 12-0 Camden Harmony Grove lead at the 9:31 mark of the second half. You saw it. We talked about it, Wayne. Dragons are gonna need every break they can get this season, and it just goes to show they ran the hurry up. Dragons are still trying to kind of get themselves together. A little bit gassed after that big gain, and then Johnson takes advantage of it.
You said it all right there. You looking at the situation. Okay, Harmony Grove immediately went to no huddle. Yeah, we're gonna catch them here. We got them where we want them, and there's something we're gonna come back and touch on here in a minute, Jacob. The opportunities. You gotta have to take advantage of opportunities. And that's in every facet of the game, this team especially for Junction.
McCann on for the extra point, holds down, and it is going to be true and, actually going to be wide right. Wide right, he misses it. Second one this evening. So the score will hold at 12-0. Hornets by 2 scores. Timeout on the field, 9:31 to play until the break. We're back in 60 on the .9:31 to play before the halftime intermission. Harmony Grove adds to their lead. They on top of Junction City 12-0 as McCann has it teed up. And it's going to be line drive, bounces around, and going to be picked up at the 15-yard line. That's going to be key. And he is going to be wrapped up after about a 7-yard gain. And that's where Junction City will have it first down and 10. As DeBose is going to lead the offense back out onto the field. It's really, fellas, when you look, I know the Dragons are about to have it offensively. When you look at Harmony Grove offensively, it's not really been anything special from the Hornets. It's just been more of a methodical approach, mixing in the run, the pass, and taking advantage of Junction City being a little bit winded here early on.
You're right, Jacob. It's not a case of, oh, my gosh, we can't do nothing with them. They're going to really, put it on us. It's not that. It's the fact that it's, missed tackles. First game of the season, true, but a couple things have happened that you can fix very quickly.
Out of the pistol, Williams right up the middle, and that's going to be a good carry from the junior Jordavian Williams up to the 41-yard line, a gain of 14 and a new set of downs on the first down run from number 4.
Wrap that football up just a little better. I saw it poking.
I did too. I thought that same thing. Handling it out there like a loaf of Texas Giant.
We will take it right now. We will take that. Just wrap it up a little better this next time.
9-12, 9-11, 9-10. Clock ticking here in the second quarter. Harmony Grove 12, Junction City 0. Trips formation for the Dragons, far side of the field. DeBose scans the defense. 4-man front for the Hornets as they run a linebacker into the 7. And they're going to give to Williams, and he might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot it.
He fought hard to get back to it. He got hit pretty quick.
They'll give him the 42, so they'll actually give him a yard on the first down carry. Second down and 9. Clock nears 8.5 to play here in quarter number 2.
Boy, you got Garrett over here just waiting to make a play.
And that's the thing. He's not traveling. He's not traveling. He's playing the side of the field.
He said, "Come to me," and we've came to him every time. Here we go.
3 receivers to the left. Owens is a single wide out to the right. DeBose sets his feet after rolling right, throws over the middle, pass is intercepted at the 41-yard line. A lot of running room here, and he's going to have a blocker. Inside the 25, 20. DeBose, the only man there. He won't get him. To the house, touchdown. 59 yards to pay dirt. That was picked off by, I believe, Tristan Herndon. I believe that's number 10. And the pick 6 costly for the Dragons. Harmony Grove goes up 18-0 here at the 7:59 mark of the second quarter.
I believe the Hornets, Jacob, they're going for 2.
They're going for 2. Two early missed extra points, and they're going to try to get this to 20. Johnson out of the shotgun, Billingsley to his right, and it's going to be the little shovel pass inside, executed dang near to perfection. It'll result in 2, and the score is now 20-0. Harmony Grove on top of Junction City. Timeout on the field, 7:59 to play before the halftime break. We will step aside for 30 seconds here on the Dragon Sports Network.
2 points attempt was good for Harmony.
Welcome back on the state line. It's not looking good in Junction City's favor right now. 7:59 to play here in the first half. 20-0. Camden Harmony Grove taking advantage of some miscues offensively by the Dragons. A 59-yard interception return for 6 by Tristan Herndon as McCann kicks it away. It's going to be picked up at around the 7-yard line. That's going to be key. He'll bounce it over to the left side, and he will be pushed out of bounds. And almost in a situation like that, you'd want him to fall down after about being pushed out about 10 yards on the left side, and hopefully maybe get another 15-yard
kind of what I was waiting on.
Penalty. They forced him out well after the whistles.
I was hoping for a body go flying or something.
So Junction City back on offense, and they're going to need some production here before the break. Like to see some consistency out of the Dragons. DeBose will command the offense. First down and 10 for Junction City from their own, we'll call it the 23-yard line. Going to give it to Williams right up the middle. Minimal gain, maybe a yard. Second down and 9 coming for Junction City.
What do you want to see here, Jake? I mean, what do you call struggling to throw it downfield?
I think right now you got to get DeBose in space, and need to trust his legs here. You need to try to get him in space. Maybe get some guys moving around offensively. Get some motion going. Get Camden Harmony Grove moving around and thinking. Don't let them just come up to the line and just man on man here.
Predictable.
Yeah. Try to get them thinking a little bit. Mix it up. Maybe let 6 use his legs some.
Create something.
Yeah, 7-13. Corey's going to bounce it out. He's going to keep it right up the middle, makes a man miss, still on his feet. Hit initially and stayed on his feet. Credit to Bose, wasn't able to go or didn't go down after about the second initial hit. And so that's going to make it
manageable.
A manageable third down here. Third down, and we'll call it 4.
He can't keep doing that, though.
From the 30-yard line. Yeah, it's going to take a toll. It's going to take a toll because the hit he bounced off of, he was pinballed. He was pinballed, and you can see him. He's squatted down in the huddle. He's playing both ways. He's trying to command the offense.
He's punting. I mean, he's doing a little bit of everything.
It's like 04 with Jeremy Spooner. If you remember Jacob in the early part of the season.
He didn't leave the field.
He didn't leave the field for nothing, and was killing them. And you finally got some guys to step into the areas to give him a breather.
And I believe Junction City's going. I believe it's Junction City's going to call timeout. We'll step aside with them. 6:21 to play. Second quarter action. Dragons down 3 scores. Back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Out of the timeout, a much-needed one for Junction City. They've got one left here in the first half with 6:21 remaining until the intermission. Big third down for them. You'd like to see them convert here and hopefully a drive that ends up in the end zone. Third down and 4 for Junction City. Split backs for the Dragons. Twins to the right. Lone man to the top of the formation. Moving left to right. Takes a snap. DeBose is going to give. Running back over left guard. That's going to be Hayden Hudson, the junior.
I think he got it.
And Harmony Grove saying they've got the football. And they do have the football. Junction City turns it over, and I believe what would have been a first down carry. It would have been a first down carry, but the Dragons turn it over. And it's going to be Harmony Grove football with great field position at the 34-yard line. With 6:03 to play here in quarter number 2, the Hornets looking to add to their 20-point lead. Johnson out of the shotgun, Billingsley to his right. Dragons with 7 in the box. Johnson steps up, and that pass looked like it might have been picked off out of the tackle to the end zone. Touchdown. Harmony Grove, I believe that might have been Garrett.
There ain't no doubt.
If you've heard his name once tonight, you've heard it about 25 to 30 times.
I believe you're right.
Interceptions,
from this angle, it looked like it might have had an opportunity to be picked off because it wasn't the sharpest of passes. Certainly not taking anything away from Johnson. It just had a little bit of a tail on it, but he put it where he needed to put it. So credit him for making a good throw there. And Garrett, I mean, sure-handed, sure-footed. He's done a little bit of it all tonight.
He fought back to the ball too.
Yeah, he did. He fought back to the ball. Going to go for two here. 26-0 is the score. Motion from the right side. They're going to give to Billingsley. Met up the gut. And good fight there by Junction City. That's Estrada in there to stop the two-point try. Timeout on the field. 5:54 to play before the intermission. Camden Harmony Groves taking control of this ball game. We're back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. McCann set to kick things off for the Hornets. Just under 6 minutes to play for the intermission, and that seems like an intermission that can't come soon enough for Junction City. It's going to be a line drive kick fielded by DeBose at the 12. He's going to cut it up and now bounces to the Junction City sideline. Going to run, nearly was able to run out of one tackle, and he gets it up across the 40. So good field position here for Junction City, who is in desperate need of a touchdown here before the break. And Corey DeBose, very winded. He's done a little bit of it all tonight here through a quarter and a half.
Well, let me throw this at you. Do you look at putting his backup in, let him get a few snaps, let's bring Corey out, let him breathe up here, or do you tell him to gut it out till the half?
It's a hard situation.
It comes down to deciding whether or not you're good with a 60% Corey or a 100% somebody else. Yeah. 5:46 to play before the half. DeBose takes the snap, sets, throws out left side, and it's going to be just short of the intended receiver. He had to throw that one a country mile. Justin Johnson, the sophomore, is the intended target.
Like you were talking about, Wayne, if Corey comes out of this game and he lets those legs, if he sits at all, they're going to lock up on him, I believe. Yeah. But if you're content –
well, you're looking at
what it's a tough situation to be in, gentlemen. I don't know if we have the answer up here. It's one of those situations that early in the season that South Arkansas humidity still thick in the air. You just gotta push through it. DeBose to throw from the left side, sprints out, pass is caught. That's going to be just inside Harmony Grove territory. And good hands there, Jay Carter. Was able to sky up over his defender, hauls it in. That's going to be a first down. That's what Junction City needs. You got to start stacking positivity here and hope to move the football down the field. 5:34 as the chains reset, and the ball is going to be spotted at the CHG 43.
Elevate it, let them go get it.
Well said there. Stacking positivity. I like that. We need to do it right here.
Dragons break the huddle. 3 receivers to the far side of the field, which is going to be near to the Dragons sideline. And whistles. I believe that's going to be delay of game. And so it kind of goes back to just Junction's trying to get as much of a breather as they can between plays, and it's costing them yardage in the process. That's going to back them up. To the Grove 47-yard line. First down and 15. 3 receivers to the right. Single man to the top of the formation. That's Johnson. DeBose is going to roll around. He's got a man following him backside. Pass is going to be picked off at the 26-yard line and still on his feet. I believe that's Herndon again, his second interception. He's going to be pushed out of bounds.
Pass intercepted by number 10 for Harmony Grove.
And DeBose had a target in mind. I don't know. Gentlemen, it looked like he was hit late right as he was trying to release the football, and I don't know if that might have changed the trajectory of the pass a little bit. But regardless, it's going to be Harmony Grove football. 4th turnover of the night for the Dragons.
Like we just hinted on, let's nothing against Corey's pass, but you can see him. Let's go with Owens on this next possession, see what he got. Give Corey a break if nothing else.
Yeah.
He's exhausted.
First down and 10 for Johnson and company. He sets his feet. He's going to throw one up, and that is going to be intercepted. That's Thurman. He's inside the 5. He's still got the football running up. He lowers his shoulder, and that's what you like to see. Maybe right there, that's the play that needs to happen to say, hey, you know what, there's still some pride on this home sideline.
I want to tell you what, you can hang your hat on number 15.
Yes,
that right there showed me all I
Dang
need
it.
to see. You're down 26 points. You know what? Watch what I'm fixing to do. Lower the shoulder, let him have
And
it.
I'm going to be honest with you, he had space. He could have potentially made the guy miss.
Yeah.
But he decided, you know
No.
what, I'm going to lower the shoulder and, hey, it's a contact sport, baby.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
There's still some fight.
Let's have some
Still
contact.
some fight, and the guys in all purple. 4:37 to play, second quarter action. More picks being thrown out here tonight than a Motley Crue concert.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'll give them a 9.5 on that one.
26-0, and I believe Junction City is either the Dragons. No, actually, Harmony Grove's going to use a timeout here. They're going to try to reset. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside with them back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Room for optimism here in the border town as Junction City takes to the field offensively. They trail 26-0, but a good defensive play to give Junction City the football by the sophomore, Jackson Thurman. Picked off a pass and lowered the boom there, and Dragons have it. 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. DeBose hands to Williams. Williams trudges up the middle for, we'll give him 2. I believe they'll spot it at the 29. Looks like it might be starting to get a little chippy out there.
You saw it on that interception that we threw that last possession over here. Got a little chirpy there.
I believe that defensive front from Harmony Grove, not appreciative of maybe the way they were attacked from the Dragon front 5 on that last play. Trips to the left side of the formation. DeBose will trigger the pistol with Williams in the chamber. He'll get the call, and he is met immediately. Nowhere to go, and they're going to throw a flag. That can only be one. It's got to be a face mask. It's going to be a face mask as Williams pulls his helmet about 3 inches to his left in order to get, in order to see out of his actual, not his ear hole. That was pretty evident.
That was a gift there. I mean, they blew it up.
So that's going to.
Looks like we had a face mask on Harmony Grove. Brings up first down for the Dragons. Third down for the Dragons.
Oh. Did they not move the football?
They didn't move the football. That's what I'm saying.
Five-yard penalty, so it'll hold at 3rd and 7. Okay, thank you. So it's second down. DeBose is going to roll out. Thought about throwing on the run. Splits 2 defenders, lowers his shoulders as he gets up to around the 35-yard line.
Took a pretty good lick.
He took a hard. I'm telling you, he cannot keep doing this.
You can't question the heart of DeBose, but man, I mean, he's giving it all, giving it his all, but
yeah, Corey's hurting a little bit, especially after that hit.
straight to the back.
Clock rolling, 3:10, 3:11.
Better get the play in here.
No, I'm afraid they're not going to make it.
No. Owens brings the play to the huddle, and
they're going to have to hurry, and he's not aware of the clock.
They're going to have to call the timeout.
They don't have.
They've got one, and they're going to call. They're going to call their last one. Dragons going to call their last timeout, facing a 3rd down and 3. here with 2:50 to play before the intermission. We'll back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. .250 to play before the break. Junction City uses their final timeout, probably more so just to allow the offense to catch their breath. 3rd down and 3, and you would like to see a conversion here. I think at this point, gentlemen, you're just trying to play keep away more so than find the end zone. You find the end zone, that's definitely a bonus, but you don't want to give Harmony Grove a chance to add to this lead before the break.
Absolutely.
Coming out of the timeout, Dragons will put 2 receivers to the left. They'll set a pair to the right, and Williams will set left to DeBose, who's in the shotgun. Snap, they fake to Williams. DeBose will keep it. He'll follow one block, and he'll be wrapped up from behind. He's going to be near the first down marker.
It's close, depends on the spot.
Yeah, if it's going to
that was a good tackle.
He got up to the 37-yard line.
I think he's got it.
Might have to call for the chains here.
I think, yeah.
This
I'd
one
call
over
for
here
I'd make a measure.
Well, Coach
Buy you
Carpenter
some
sent a
time.
play in, and I think it was Coach Lowe that told him that they had not yet announced whether or not it was a first down. Because Dragons were set to go, or not go for it. They just assumed it was a first down carry.
Lord have mercy. It's game one for everybody, boys.
So
it's game one for everybody.
Anybody familiar with this rivalry knows that anytime the chains are brought out with the Hornets and Dragons tangling, you never know what could happen.
And
That's
we got
first down.
We got
Yeah,
one
they
of the
gotta
veteran crew members up here with us.
They got to stretch it.
Yeah, the chain
got it.
gang.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, they got first. The chain
And
gang
first
is having
down.
to replace some hard talent. I mean, it's not easy.
So a first down run. For Junction City.
Did D. Wood run the chains out there? Was he the guy that stood back?
D. Wood's been running it since second grade.
Second grade, so he knows what he's doing. Hall of Fame material, if you ask me.
We might have to have like a Mike Pereira type deal where we go to the officiating crew here. That's going to be kept on the ground. I believe that was Hudson on the carry. Spells Williams, momentarily. Clock hits the 2-minute mark. Harmony Grove with 2 timeouts. It makes you wonder if Coach Horskamp, if they get a stop here, wouldn't be surprised if maybe they try to use one to potentially get the football back.
They're going to try something. Of course, it depends on the play here. If they get a positive play in their favor, you drop a timeout here.
Two receivers to the left, split backs. DeBose gives to Hudson.
Uh-oh.
And Hudson's he's actually going to pick up a little bit more than he originally had, tackled from behind. Credit right there.
Ball carried by number 8 for the Dragons.
Remarkius Singleton,
Brings up 3rd
the
down.
sophomore. He got beat off the ball initially, but he held his block enough for where Hudson could get underneath him and to make this a manageable 3rd down.
Jacob, you get a first down here, then if you're the Dragons, you pick the tempo up.
I think you do. You got to start applying maybe a little bit more pressure. Williams has it, and he's going to be chopped down in the backfield, well short of the first down. And I believe he might be cramping. Looks like he might have grabbed both legs. As Owens runs to the sideline to get the play, Williams limps to the sideline. And I believe Grove's going to call timeout. It looks like they might have bailed Junction City out there. But I mean, they're still going to have to probably maybe kick the football away here. We'll keep it here. 40 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Wayne, I throw this one to you, and Brennan, you let me know as well. Do you go for it if you're Junction City?
Yes.
100%.
I go.
No question.
I think so. We saw the line drive kick. obviously you don't want to you would rather keep the ball in your playmaker's hands than kick it away to a playmaker of theirs. I think you have to look at it that way, and so I wouldn't be surprised. Junction City definitely needs to go here. 40 seconds, and
well, you said it there,
your
Jake.
defense has been put in some compromising positions. They've played relatively well. I mean, the average fan will look up, well, they're giving up 26 points. Well, yes and no. Obviously, they had the pick six, wasn't their fault. And they, like I said, they've been put in some situations that weren't as beneficial, and they've certainly missed some tackles. But I think you got to go here.
It's not a dominant 20. I mean, yeah, like you said, you look at the scoreboard, it doesn't really tell the whole tale. Here we go.
And I like to go back to this real quick. I agree with the decision. Like you said, Jacob, leave the ball in your playmakers' hands. Don't give it to theirs.
At least for one play here. 4th and
Absolutely.
4. And DeBose, I don't know if he fell down, if it was going to be a direct snap or what, but it's busted up at the line of scrimmage, and the clock will stop, so they'll only mark off about 7 seconds. Grove will take over, and they will have excellent field position here at the 40, and so you're going to call on your defense one more time. You need a stop here with 33 seconds and a Harmony Grove timeout to boot to keep this at a 26-0 ball game.
Ball on the 40-yard line.
I saw a little leadership from Javion Davis right there when Williams went down. He went straight to him. I mean, you like positive, man. I mean, I know it's hard to be positive in 26-0, but I mean, I like to see that. I
agree with you. You look for things that you can build on. When you got a guy stepping in there trying to help teammates out get things going, because you're rebuilding.
Right.
You're rebuilding, and everybody knows it. It's not a secret. And you take number 15, Thurman. You can hang your hat on him. So you look at those things. Okay, we got something we can work with here.
Johnson's pressured. That defensive front's got him, and he's going to be wrapped up and drop. Ball's on the ground. Ball is on the ground, and it was not down. It was knocked out of his hand. He was not down.
He was not down.
Man, that's tough. That's tough.
There.
Junction City would have had it on their the Harmony Grove side of the field. The Hornets are going to call their last timeout with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. We're going to keep it here.
Well, officials need to get their act together because he was not down, and they all missed that one.
That one was a fairly easy one to call.
Yeah.
26-0 is our score. So Junction City at this point, depending on what you see from Grove, I mean, it's second down and Faircrest basically for the Hornets. And so you're going to want to see, I think you obviously got to put 4 or 5 back deep because they're not trying to get a first down here, guys. They're trying to find the end zone, so they're trying to look for anything that they can maybe get in open area, spurt through. And so it'll be interesting to see what they dial up here. They're going to put twins to both sides of the formation.
Real quick, Jake, we've been talking about Thurman. He's a bull rider. I just found this out. I got it won awards. Rode in Vegas, so he made it to Vegas. You make it to Vegas riding bulls, you're doing something. And I was told he is tough. Well, yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly because he has showed it tonight. Remember the interception, instead of trying to go to the side,
and they're going to set up the screen here. That's going to be Billingsley. He's got some open space, and Thurman's going to be the one to get to him. And 10-second, 5 seconds only went off the clock. They're going to try to hurry. Junction City just needs to keep some guys back deep. Don't get caught lacking. 2 seconds. 1 second. There's going to be time. And that helps out the Dragons.
No,
there is no shot.
There was no time.
There is no shot. He got that down.
No, that was not smart.
Would have been better off just trying to take a pass play out of that one. Junction City will certainly take it, and they will take a much-needed break here at the half. 26-0. Grove in control here in week 0. We're back in 2 minutes on the Dragon Sports Network.
You want a break? Go ahead. It is halftime here at Paul H. Muse Field at David Carpenter Stadium. Harmony Grove on top 26-0. And joining me here at the Langs's halftime show, Mr. Daniel Wood. And Daniel, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, don't laugh at me, but let's have some positives on Junction City, what you saw.
For the problems they had with depth, the effort's there. They're trying to make plays. They're out there doing everything they can right now. You can tell that depth is an issue and condition has become an issue right here. It's offensively, there's been a couple of good runs and everything like that. And DeBose, whenever he gets outside, he finally sees an opening, he hits it, but he can't be taking these hits like he's been taking.
And that's something, I agree wholeheartedly. That was going to be one of the things I was going to say. The positive I say is what you said, the effort. Look at Thurman, look at Davis, both of them playing hard, playing tough, and there's no let up in either one of them, and
Exactly.
I like that. And I'm talking from, a defensive perspective. Corey DeBose is trying. I think he's trying a little too hard, and it's hurting.
Yes.
Yeah, at times it's cost us.
He's trying to go for the big play every time, and you need to check it down every once in a while.
Absolutely. And that is something, we touched on, cut these routes short. And we're saying all this stuff. Let's keep in mind it's first game of the season.
Exactly.
The scrimmage, they look good against Hamburg. One of the areas that I was concerned about and everybody was concerned about was the offensive line. But the offensive line, despite a few plays against them, has looked good overall.
Really and truly they have, but you can kind of tell, he's had a few times he's been open and, he's been able to stand back in the pocket and do something. But sometimes they're really rolling him out, trying to get him outside the pocket and everything. But the receivers, when you see your quarterback scrambling out, you need to come back instead of just continuing down the field. It's hard to make a deep pass when you're running away.
That's it. And he's, Jacob talked about it too in the scrimmage. He's got an arm.
Yes.
There is no doubt about it. DeBose has got an arm. He just cannot keep trying to throw deep. Teams are going to look at film, and they're going to go, okay, you know what? He's going to try it deep. Let's put some double coverage on people, and we're going to get us a couple of picks.
Yeah, they do a little cover two back there, two deep safeties. That's going to be able to cover that majority of the time.
Now, the question I'm going to throw at you now, we're still about almost a month away from conference play, let's say, give or take a few days. Can this team, despite the depth that they're facing, lack of it, can this team get ready for conference? Because you looking and you're seeing some guys right now, it's obvious they missed summer workouts.
Yes.
And they're hurting. Can this team get themselves ready for conference?
I believe so. When we talk about depth and conditioning right now, but the best way to get conditioned is game time. Gameplay, that's how you get conditioned really. I feel like by the time conference rolls around, I feel like they're going to be able to compete. I see Prescott's going to be tough. We all know Prescott, the tradition they got there.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a tough game, but I don't see anybody else in the conference that's just that they couldn't take on. I really don't. From Smack over to Falk to Horatio to Gurdon and all them. I really feel like they should be able to play all them, and honestly, I think they could win all that. I think they could do – I'd like to say they could win the conference, but Prescott's so tough. Second place, in this conference, really and truly, it ain't nothing to bat your eye at.
You've been in that locker room with David Carpenter as a player. And, of course, y'all didn't face very many of these situations. The only one I can think of was Bearden in 06, and the Dragons came from behind and won that one. What does Coach Carpenter tell him, Daniel? You get in there, you're down 26. You've had a few positives, but that's it.
I can tell you right now, in that locker room, it's nothing but calm coaches. In a game like this, they're in there and they're talking to you. They're building you up. They know the obstacles that they have ahead, but they're in there, they're game planning. The coaches, this is one of the best coaching staffs in 3A, if you really look at it. When you got Lowe and you got Smith and Carpenter all together, those are three of the best coaches that you can have. And they're going to be able to game plan something. And I think they're going to make some adjustments, and they're going to be able to do something a little bit different in this second half. But, again, like we say, conditioning, and you don't have many replacements on the sideline. But it's going to be interesting to see the adjustments that the coaches are able to do.
Well, we got about 5.5 minutes or just a little bit under till the start of the second half. And real quick, let me Let me mention a few folks we haven't had a chance to mention because of the way the game, especially the flow of this game. Now let me get my glasses fixed here, folks. I'm not a spring chicken no more, but the folks I'm talking about is the fine advertisers of the DSN, and I'm going to try to read them off here for you real quick. El Dorado Chemical on board again for our 10th season. Yes, the 10th season of the DSN. Ameriprise Financial, who presents the Coaches Show. And by the way, we're doing this game tonight from the EDC broadcast booth. Langston's is the presenter of the Wall of Honor, which is September 16th. Game night, and as you saw, we changed it up, had a few issues, but we worked through them. And, folks, I like what I saw there, and I especially like the opinions. And I think the consensus up here is that's our favorite one. Clean Harbors is the presenter of game night. Noakes Lawn Care, the presenter of Dragon Football on the DSN. We're glad to have them on board. And the field, looking better than it has before, despite all the rain. Noakes Lawn Care is the official field care provider for Junction City football. USW Local, 13434. They do our scoreboard updates. We hadn't had a chance to do a few, but we're going to try to get some in. Glenn Mechanical, presenter of Dragon Football on YouTube, and you see them on the our scoreboard, the Glenn Mechanical scoreboard that you see during the game. Kevin Norris Memorial. This one's special to the DSN. We talked about it during the state basketball tournament, and you'll hear us talking more about it. We want to thank Miss Jan Norris Pepper, Allison, and April for being with us in year number 10. Terminex, Apache Industrial Services, they provide the scaffolding that we use for our broadcast booth for Dragon basketball. El Dorado Custom Carpets, Generations Bank, Murphy Heating and Air, LLC, and Mark Williams. And Mark, dear friend of mine, I love him to death, supports the Dragons, wishes them the best in 2022, and we're going to need all the best we can get. Union County Merchants, most of them you've already heard me mention, but let me throw a few more in there. 101.5, The Hog, Hog Wild Pest Control. McGraw's Barbecue, who, by the way, will be open after the game tonight. Big Gary Meeks up here with us tonight, and I saw Big Gary's eyes light up. Yes, Big Gary, you want to get some fine barbecue, the official barbecue of the DSN. They're open till 10:30. Go by there. Folks, I recommend the sausage. Now, I'm pretty sure most of these guys up here, Jacob, are kind of looking at me like, I don't know, but you can't beat that pulled pork, can you? He said, well, he takes that back. He said, I'll recommend anything on that menu. But go check them out tonight. E&T Restaurant. Folks, you talk about some fine hamburgers. The best around. E&T right here on the state line in the border town. Go check them out. Junction City, Florida, a shout-out to my dear friends Steve and Sharon Williams. Fine folks. I tell you what, anything you want to get for your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, flowers, go see them. We also got Cup's Lawn Care, Mr. Brennan Cup, the lawnmower man. Got something needs to be done, check them out. JC Dragon Football Booster Club, and I want to say something here. You got a group of folks that is working hard and trying to build some positive in the Booster Club. Folks, they need more people. If you want to be involved, you want to help your community, there's nothing better you could do than join JC Football Booster Club and get involved. These kids, your future, people talk about, well, these kids, look how they're doing nowadays and all. Well, get involved. Let's try to make a change. Change can be good. And there's about 6 or 8 of them that's dedicated to working hard. They could use 16 or 18 more. So if you want to do something, get involved with the JC Booster Club. And right now, before we leave from here, let's take it down to the booth to Mr. Denton Ashcraft, who's got Chad with us for halftime stats. Take it away, guys.
All right. At the half, we got total offense. We got 180 yards for Harmony Grove, 92 yards for Junction. That's 63 yards passing and 117 yards rushing for Harmony Grove, 18 yards passing, 74 yards rushing for Junction. We've had 9 first downs for Harmony Grove, 5 for Junction City. And we had the highlights of the half was all on offense or all on defense, for Junction. We had Hudson and Thurman both with 4 tackles apiece, and Thurman and DeBose with 1 interception each.
All right, thank you, Chad. Halftime stats provided by Glenn Mechanical.
Hey, Wayne.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I got a USW scoreboard update here.
Take it away.
We got Gurdon 35, Lafayette County 12. That's at the half. Then we have Crossett 14, Glen Rose 17.
Ooh.
That's a pretty close one.
Yeah.
Warren 21, Stuttgart 24. That was 14-0 a while ago. That's quarter 3. Warren 21, Stuttgart 24.
All right.
Let's see here. Magnolia McGee's tied up at 7. And I got another one here. Arkadelphia 28, Camden Fairview 21. I believe that one was also 14-0 in the second. So some good games there.
All right. Well, from Rabbit Town to Randolph, from the banks of Loder Bottom to the back roads of Dodge City, Dragon Nation, we got you covered with Junction City football. We are the Dragon Sports Network, and we'll be back in 2 minutes with second half action here from the Muse.
Second half action just about to get underway here from Paul H. Muse Field at David Carpenter Stadium. Camden Harmony Grove with a 26-0 advantage over Junction City as the final 2 quarters of play are upon us, and the Hornets will get the football after deferring at the pregame coin toss. Jacob Humphrey alongside Brennan Cupp and Daniel Wood. And fellas, I think it's safe to say if you're Junction City, you got to come out and get a quick stop and then hope to get something going offensively.
Definitely. You got to get some type of momentum going in this game. Right now you're coming out of half. I mean, I know the coaches came in there and they did some adjustments. You got to come out and do what the coaches told you to do in the locker room and get some momentum going your way.
That's right. That's right. And hopefully that halftime intermission was enough to help some of these guys get the wind back in their sails, at least for the time being. And the kickoff is going to be a corner kick, and it's going to bounce around at about the 10 or about the 15-yard line. And good pursuit there by Junction City. That's got Coach Carpenter fired up. And a nice job there by the kickoff unit to pin the Hornets back at around. They're going to spot it at the 21. So a nice job there. That's where special teams can certainly benefit you. And so we'll see from Johnson and company here with 11:55 to play in the third quarter.
You saw him come out right there, Jacob, with some intensity, and that's what you wanted to see coming out the gate right
That's
there.
right. That's right. You definitely want us. Don't wait till that first play from defense. Go ahead and get it started right there out of the gate on special teams. As the Hornets take to the field.
Javion Davis looks poised to make a big play right here. I'm going to go ahead and call it.
Davis from his nose tackle position. Been a handful much of the night for Harmony Grove front five. Johnson in the shotgun, going to give to Billingsley, and he is going to bounce it out right side, makes a man miss. Estrada's going to chase him down, but not before Billingsley gets about 8 yards.
Definitely
Second down and 2.
Pushed up the field a little bit too far right there. He definitely had a chance to make the play, Davis, like we talked about.
Yeah,
he
he's
just
a
couldn't
bull, man.
quite get that arm out.
He's a load to handle, man. You're not going to single cover him.
And Hudson was almost able to get his guy just if he'd have got him a little bit more north, might would have forced Billingsley to cut it back inside and maybe would have been able to stop that run at around 5 or 6 as opposed to 8. Second down and 2. Clock nears 11-minute mark here in quarter number 3. Junction City looking for a stop on defense, hopefully get the football back and hopefully find the end zone for the first time tonight. Johnson's going to keep it, bouncing around, kind of just reading what's available. And plows forward for a first down and a couple more yards. That'll reset the chains for the Hornets.
Just eating some clock up there, Jacob. Eating some clock.
Ball's going to be spotted at the 34-yard line. Dragons making some changes on that defensive front.
Yeah, they did that all first half. They're going to continue the second half.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm sure as long as they can, as long as Grove slows it down, they're going to be making some changes, get as fresh of legs as you possibly can get in there. Dragons stacking a lot in there on that front.
He cut up right
and
there.
Estrada going to try to chase down Billingsley, and we got a late flag
Gotta be
as
gotta be a
Hudson
hold. Yeah, definitely a hold right there.
records the tackle. And really, from where it came from, guys, I think hold's about the only thing he would have called considering when the flag was thrown and from the direction it was. And so
Williams did a decent job stringing that out.
Hudson shot out of a cannon
sideline.
right there, man. He come out of nowhere for that. And that's what it'll be.
Man, it's going to be a hold on the Hornets, so that'll back Harmony Grove up. And we've seen this a couple of times already tonight, gentlemen, where Junction City's had the Hornets back behind the chains early, but somehow Harmony Grove's been able to find a way to keep those drives going. In fact, I think they actually scored on 2 drives tonight in which they were faced with a 2nd and 15 or longer. And so you'd like to see Junction City, make a stop here. First down. And long. Low snap. It's going to be a spot out pass to the left. And Estrada was there as the intended target, actually the receiver on the play. That was Patterson. He was able to haul it in and get upfield for about 9. Second down and 11.
That's good pursuit right there by Estrada coming out there. You just got to make sure he wraps up when he gets there.
That's right. That's right. It really was good pursuit.
Second down for Harmony Grove with 11 to go. Ball on the 33.
Clock sinks under 10 minutes. Third quarter action. Second and 11. Twins to both sides of the formation for the Hornets. Johnson looks left, now going to look right. He's going to sprint out right. Could have been a hold call there on Davis as he was trying to bounce out, and instead it's going to allow Johnson to sprint all the way past the first down marker. He's going to get across the 45. I believe they mark him out at the 46. Actually, add a yard to that, make it the 47.
Nip Davis just enough to slow him down, let him get around that end.
So first down and 10 for the Hornets. Chains reset for the second time this drive, and Dragons will make 2 changes upon that defensive front.
Got to get them off the field here, Jacob.
2 guys came on and only 1 guy came off.
Oh, they get the false start penalty, though. So we'll deal
That's
with
how
it.
you draw it up.
That's you don't see that often. Guy trying to run a 12th man or trying to run 2 subs off the field, and the offense in such a hurry to get that call.
On the play prior, 42 Smith, he did a good job. He tried to come in and make the play right there, but he can't give up contain. And as soon as he did that, he came in. He allowed the quarterback from Harmony Grove to get outside.
And that led to the first down and the big gain.
Exactly.
You're right there. It's lane discipline. Just because the play may be initially going away from you, got to stay in your lanes and not allow a kind of that breakthrough lane late, because Johnson's proven he can kind of bounce around in there until he sees some openings.
Yeah, he'll see a hole. He'll hit it.
First down and 15. Bounces around. It's going to spin out of a potential tackler. Throws a dart to a sliding receiver, and I believe he's going to haul it in. That's going to be number 15.
Good catch.
That's Andrew Taylor, the senior. Sliding down at the 45-yard line.
That was a heck of a pass.
It was. That was bounced around in the pocket, spun out of a would-be tackler, and on the run, fired it to Taylor. And it's going to make it 2nd down and 2 now for the Hornets. Ball's going to be at the 45-yard line, moving right to left. 9:05 to play, third quarter action. They give to, I believe that's Billingsley.
Yeah, it looked like Estrada came away with the tackle right there. He's getting in there. He's trying to make plays.
He's definitely pursuing the football.
He held on there pretty. I think he got just enough for a first. Yep.
Yeah, just enough.
And so 3 changes here for.
It's too late.
We've got a player down, and so right there in front of the official.
He waited until the last minute to call.
Yeah, he did. He did wait till the last. He could have probably tossed a whistle in there a little bit sooner. Coach Smith was telling him go down immediately, because it definitely helped Junction City. They tried to make a late change on that defensive front, and so now the injury is going to prevent the penalty. Clock stops, 8.5 to play. So first down and 10.
Hey, if Ole Miss can do it, everybody can do it.
That's right. That's right. That was Hodges. He seems to be okay. I don't know if it was a cramp. Maybe, I don't know if it was an ankle or what. Don't want to speculate, but he's talking to Coach Thompson. Seems to be still standing upright.
Yeah, he looks to be all right.
2 receivers to the top of the formation. First down and 10. Deep motion now. First time we've seen that out of the Hornets tonight, and they're going to get whistled for it. And actually, it's going to be a delay of game. So a delay of game. Correction, false start.
He'll figure it out.
False start on the Hornets. And so the big thing for Junction City, if they're able to get a stop, you'll look at that clock and go, man, it's a lot of time was eaten off of it. We near the 8-minute mark. Already nearly a 4-minute drive here for Harmony Grove. Start the second half. Johnson to throw, and the pocket collapses. He's going to sprint out. He's going to pick up a first down, gets a block downfield, cuts it up. We're going to be a late penalty. It's got to be a hold. Maybe the big block that I thought was a block was actually more of a hold.
What's hurting Jacob? We get him contained, man, and he just seems to find that hole.
He finds that one lane that's available, and he's able to take it. He's very quick-footed too. He's definitely shown his speed at times tonight. Of course, the holding penalty is going to benefit Junction City, and another Dragon seems to be
looks like holding on Harmony Grove.
Coming up a little limpy. Remarkius Singleton, sophomore, makes his way to the side. Looks like it might just be a cramp. That's one thing about a cramp. There's only a couple ways to treat that. And they're going to give to Billingsley, and that's Estrada. He has been everywhere the football has been tonight, and that's been a good stop there. Good stop there from 65, the senior.
This drive alone, he's probably doubled the tackles he had in the first half.
You're probably right. He's been all over the place. The ones he hadn't made, he's been around the football.
Exactly.
Under 7.5 to play. Johnson looks left, talks a little bit to the 3 set in the trips formation. He's going to look to that trio, bounces around, Pursued by Ivy. Davis, he's
back.
going to pursue, going to be a hold. He's going to throw one up. He's got a man, and a good play on the back end to knock it away. Was that Thurman?
I think it's Thurman. No, it's DeBose, I believe.
DeBose on the back end. Nicely done by Corey. It's going to be for, I don't want to say for naught because that's a heck of an effort, but it still benefit Junction City. I believe it's going to be a hold by the Hornets. So credit that Dragon defensive front. We talked about them in the scrimmage, talked about them in the first half. I mean, there's been 3 holding penalties on this drive alone, guys, just from the standpoint that the Dragon front 4,
they're pushing.
Their pursuit
They're getting there every time.
Their pursuit is forcing those holds.
They're not going to hold you unless you're getting past them or doing something. They're not. If you're beating them, that's when they're going to hold you.
Good analysis by Daniel there, Jacob.
There you go. That's what I do.
Glad to have you two guys up here with me tonight. 7:06 to play after the hold, 2nd down and 20, and they're going to run the option here, the pitch. It's like something out of NCAA 14. And Billingsley is pushed out of bounds. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, tack on 3 more to that, and it'll be a 2nd down and 7 coming here for the Hornets.
Speaking of NCAA 14, I'm pretty excited about the new game coming up.
It's coming back out.
Yeah.
It is. Yes, it is.
Third, isn't it, Jacob?
Yeah, it
It's
should
a
be
big
third.
Third, yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, third. So now 3rd and 7. So this is a big opportunity for Junction City to get off the field. Harmony Grove has had the football now for 5.5 minutes, nearing a 6-minute drive.
I do feel like it's 4-down territory for them, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially with being up 4 scores. And that's going to be Garrett. First time we've seen from him on offense this drive. He bounces around, and it's finally going to be wrapped up, tossed out.
I thought DeBose might have got blocked in the back right there. I guess
He went down awkward, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sound like a couple of Hornet fans may have been a little bit upset with how
Key took him out of bounds
Key
right
took
there.
him out of bounds. I mean, it is football. You do get hit a little bit. Clock continues to run, under 5:50 to play here in the 3rd quarter. So regardless if the Hornets are able to continue this drive or even get any points out of it,
Successful.
it's been successful for the amount of time that they've taken off the clock, and they've kept Junction City's offense on the field, which consists of most of the ones on the defensive side of the football. They're going to keep it on the ground, bouncing around.
There we
And
go.
good pursuit
There we
by
go.
Junction City. Nowhere to go was
Hudson.
Devontae Hubbard, the junior.
That's DeBose.
DeBose coming up to make a big play. And so that's the stop Junction City needed. It took them a while to get it. It took them 6 minutes and 32 seconds, but they got it. And they'll have it on offense here, down 26-0. Here with 5:28 to play in the 3rd quarter.
It's going to be interesting to see how they do offensively. I'd like for them to try to do some spot passes or something like that. Hit something short. Let your receiver try to do some work on the outside.
Let him get in a rhythm throwing. I mean, I see what you're saying there, Daniel.
I mean, defensive backs on the outside, they haven't really had to try to tackle one-on-one so far.
Mm-mm.
First and 10 for the Dragons. DeBose looks left, throws left, and in and out of the hands of Thurman. He had him. And even if he falls to the ground after the completion, he'd have had probably about 5 or 6 yards. But it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion.
2nd down, ball on the 39.
Good look. I mean, it was the right play call.
Yeah, definitely.
The thing is, you throw out there, he had a bunch of space. And that's the thing with these receivers that Junction City has. If you get them in space, they'll be able to make a play.
And you start doing that, that'll open up the middle for Williams.
Exactly.
2nd down and 10 here for Junction City. Just shy of the 40-yard line. And that's going to be a sharp snap through, and DeBose is going to have to cover it up. And he will at the 21-yard line. Dragons are going to lose 19 yards on the bad snap.
Couldn't tell if he just wasn't quite ready or slipped through his hands.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. I mean,
I thought he was bending down to.
It wasn't bad from the standpoint of location. It
No,
just it looked like
definitely.
it caught him off guard, like he wasn't necessarily ready for the snap, or maybe it was a little too sharp and went through his hands.
I say you see him drying his hands. I'm gonna say. I mean.
Yeah, it might have been the humidity, and obviously
He's sweating a little
I'm
bit.
about
out
to
there,
say
boys.
I'm about to say the jersey's a different color purple than some, just because of how much
He's been a horse tonight.
how much he's been sweating. Dragons going to call a timeout. They're going to talk things over, facing a 3rd and 27, 4:41 to play, 3rd quarter action. We're back in 60 on the Dragon Sports Network. Out of the Junction City timeout, 4:41 to play, third quarter action. Dragons facing a big third down. 3rd and 27 to go after the bad snap, or the unexpected snap, I should say. DeBose is going to keep it. He's going to be tracked down from behind, was trying to slow read what was in front of him, didn't see the pursuit from the backside, and I don't necessarily think he may have gotten a single yard.
I couldn't tell if that was like a little stall play out there with the receiver and then try to go deep.
Yeah, I didn't know, yeah.
I was waiting on it.
Because they had a twin set to the top of the formation, so I don't know if they were – kind of reminded me of that play they scored late against there was a couple Desart last year.
There was a couple plays in the Hamburg games that the receivers, they did some pretty good little curl routes, and they were open, and those plays worked.
Sure.
I haven't seen many of them tonight.
Now Junction City going to be forced to punt it away here, 4th and 25. Clock moves under 4 minutes. It's going to be a little bit of a bad snap. Going to get a decent punt off. And that one's going to bounce at the 42. It's going to roll down inside the 35, just shy of the 30 at the 31. So a good flip of the field from Corey DeBose. And Harmony Grove will have it 1st and 10 at their own 31, 3:43 to play here in the third quarter. So Junction City, fellas, you're defensively, you're on the field for 6 minutes and 32 seconds. You keep it for just under 3 minutes of game time. You have to turn around and put that defense right back out on the field without having much success offensively. So you know it's getting down to the nitty gritty here. You almost need just a quick turnover as opposed to letting Grove potentially eat more clock.
Definitely. I feel like they're going to come out and run the ball again right here.
I don't blame them. That's what I'd do.
No, I think that's what you got to. I think, obviously Coach Horsecamp's been around this game a long time. And get them with a hard count of first to make it even easier. That's going to be encroachment.
That's a Junction City football tradition right there.
They are keeping that one alive. Yeah. I agree.
That hard count, it's that aggressive defensive line for years. That has always been.
Yeah, that hard count will get you. And I kind of have to concede that one to them. I'll give them that hard count with the way that defensive front's been pursuing.
Exactly.
I'll give them that
definitely.
5. They earned that 5.
Oh, definitely.
That's going to be to Billingsley.
He filled that hole nicely.
And a good job there from the front 7. I tell you what, this Dragon defense, we talked about it in the first half. You look up on the scoreboard, it's 26-0. Well, I mean, they can't be that good. They've given up 26.
That's not what you
take away some big plays. You take away some compromising positions. And you do have to admit there were some missed tackles. Defense hadn't been perfect tonight.
No.
But they're still playing hard even late into the third quarter. You're seeing it from the front 7. We've seen some plays made on the back half. So there's a lot to look forward to from this Junction City defense.
Definitely.
Out of the shotgun, split backs, twins to the right. They're going to keep it on the ground. That's Garrett. He's going to bounce it out right. Got plenty of running room and still on his feet. I don't think Garrett must not get tired because he's running like this the first drive of the first quarter, and everybody else is out there moving around a little slower.
Defense, offense, it don't matter. That man does it all.
That's it. He does it all. I'm sure if he had his CDL, he'd probably be driving the bus back to Ouachita County this evening. Clock's under 3 minutes.
We didn't get off the field.
We didn't get off the field, and the official doesn't appear to be too worried about it either because he was right there in front of him. Garrett's tackled by DeBose. It's going to be a first down, but that's a touchdown-saving play by Corey DeBose. And I believe he's down momentarily. That might be somewhat cramping. You're starting to see that more and more. Just a couple of Junction City players cramping, and
you got 22 players, Jacob. I mean,
that's the thing. You look at the guys cramping and guys that are going into to fill those spots have been guys that are cramping. So it's just a tough night for Junction City physically from the conditioning standpoint. Timeout on the field. Dragons call it. 2:38 to play, third quarter. We're going to step aside for 30. This is the Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to the state line. 2:38 to play here in the third quarter. And Camden Harmony Grove has really controlled the ball offensively for just about, with the exception of about 2.5 minutes, they've had it for just the whole quarter. That Dragon defense has played well in a lot of spots so far tonight. Is certainly wearing down. You can look out there and tell there's just guys that they've emptied the tank. They don't have much left. They are forced to have to try to stop Harmony Grove now with the football inside the 20. Red zone marked at the 18. They're going to keep it in tight. In fact, they're going to set it heavy to the right. My gracious, there are 5 offensive linemen to the right of the center. Billingsley goes behind all 5 of them, bounces it outside and into the end zone for the touchdown. 18 yards out for Billingsley.
Yeah, they look like that offensive set that Horse Camp used to run over there at Bearden with
That's
the show
exactly
low.
Snap it to Low or Show or whoever's back there, and let him just slow read and look for that lane, and basically do what Billingsley did and just shoot it right up the gut, make a man miss, and find the end zone.
Boy, I wish we had a Lower Show.
Guys like Low or Show, they don't come around often.
You don't get the nickname the Show for no reason.
That's right, and when you give it to yourself, that says even more about you. Rightfully deserved. Extra point is good. 33-0 is the score. 2:31 to play in the third quarter. Timeout on the field. Junction City reeling here in the third quarter. We're back in 60 on the DSN. Have to, whatever you want to do, Denton. At this point.
We're good either way.
McCann set to kick things off here for the Hornets. 33-0 is our score. And that's going to bounce around. I believe it might be live after touching an up back. DeBose is going to pick it up, and he's going to shoot through a hole up past the 30 to around the 33-yard line. So that's where Corey and company will start just their second drive here in the third quarter, as Grove controlled most of the frame on offense, and it was best case scenario for the Hornets as they were able to find the end zone to extend that lead to 33-0.
Look like Thurman's got some little issue going on over here. He's holding on his arm or something like that, his hand.
I'm trying to find him. Oh, yeah, I do see that.
The boy's tough.
First down and 10 for the Dragons. Kind of an offset split back. DeBose pressured from behind, in and out of the hands of Ja'Cory and Key. Back-to-back drives for the Dragons. They dropped the first pass from scrimmage. Clock will stop at 2:18 to play. And Thurman's coming out. Looks like that might be that right hand. One thing's for sure, if he's coming out of the ball game,
something serious.
It's something serious.
That's first game of the year too, man. It ain't you know he's going to be a key part on
Exactly.
the defense and offense. You need to – ain't no need in trying to take anything too far.
That's right. That's right. 2nd down and 10. Dragons break the huddle. They'll put 2 receivers to both sides of the formation. Williams set to the left. DeBose throws off his back foot and miscommunication. It looked like miscommunication. Key stopped his route midway through it.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I think he saw 33 coming. He kind of
eased up. Dragons back-to-back incompletions. 2:15 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Twin receiver set to the right. DeBose, he's going to sprint out to his left. And he's going to throw on the run. Flags and nearly picked off. Potentially going to be a holding call. Called from the head referee on that backside there.
Carpenter's composed it in tonight, Jacob. I want to see that good old-fashioned toss from him.
he lost his hat. So that's something I ain't seen is Carpenter on the sideline without a hat on.
It's a new look for sure, definitely. It definitely is. And so 4th down for the Dragons. Going to have to punt it away. They don't have 11 on the field. Johnson's going to run out. He'll take over one of the up back positions. Bo's going to have to kick it away. Good. And I don't know if it's mishandled on the snap or it's going to be a false start on Junction City.
A snap infraction, however you want to call it.
Yeah, snap infraction penalty. 2:06 to play, 3rd quarter. So Junction City got it with 2:32. They've only managed to run 26 seconds off. And it goes back. You hate to be, you know, those they don't want to beat a dead horse here, but one of the things is you know, it's not a situation that maybe years past where, you know, defense get off the field. You know, it's 3A football. Of course, you got a lot of guys going both ways, but more so here for Junction City, it's not necessarily. It's more so just out of need. You've got to just because you don't have a lot of depth. That's going to be a helicopter kick. It's going to bounce at the 40, and Garrett thought about picking it up. Williams is out there, and he's going to down it at the 30-yard line. And that's where Camden Harmony Grove will have it. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. 33-0 is our score. Hornets on top of Junction City.
I don't know. I don't see Johnson coming out on the field right now. I think they're going to do a change. Number 5, I think, is in the quarterback for Grove now.
Yeah, I believe that's Patterson. Yeah, Patterson's now in at quarterback for Harmony Grove. Going to change the offense up a little bit. Billingsley is lead block, and that is going to be Hudson. Good tackle there by Hudson in the open field.
He's been on several tackles tonight, too.
Patterson got to that 2nd level, and that's where he stopped. He picked up 5 yards. Looked like he was going to be able to kind of get a full head of steam, but credit Hudson for being able to really just stick him and drop him where he was at. 2nd down and 5. Final 90 seconds here in quarter number 3. That's going to be a keeper. That's Devontae Hubbard. Hubbard bounces it out, and a good tackle there. Good tackle in the open field. Anthony Williams, yeah, the senior coming up from that secondary is able to get in there. Because if it's not him, gentlemen, there
a lot of green.
A lot of green grass in front of him along that left sideline. So 3rd down here. You'd like to see the Dragons bow that neck a little bit. 3rd down and 3, and try to get the football back here. Get that goose egg off the board. Final 45 seconds. Starting to tick off the clock. Grove runs in an offensive lineman.
Got 2 seconds, Jacob.
Some miscommunication there by Grove. Got to think you probably got some young guys in there that are seeing some action maybe for the first time. So Harmony Grove's going to call a timeout. We'll step aside with them. 35 seconds to play. 3rd quarter action back in 30. on the Dragon Sports Network. Coming out of the timeout, Harmony Grove facing a 3rd down and 3. Dragons brought the whiteboard out to the huddle. Draw something up defensively. And they're gonna stack it all in tight, might as well. That's where Grove's at. 3rd down and 3. And they're gonna race it to the left side and still on his feet. Thought he might have stepped out of bounds, still going, and finally a whistle. Definitely didn't want to, I guess, I don't know if there's a quota on that whistle or not, but I mean, I think one little is probably not enough. You probably need to, hammer it down a couple more times because.
I'd say I barely heard it myself. I mean, I don't blame him for being upset.
The refs pulled out a flag. I don't know what was going on.
I didn't know what was going on there.
They picked up the 1st down, got inside Dragon territory to the Junction City 46.
I saw the flag grab.
I did too. I wasn't sure what he was reaching for, but
I thought he was going to throw a flag on his partner over here. I mean, that's what I was wondering.
Final 15 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. And it's going to be a loose snap, and that's going to put Grove behind the chains here as the 3rd quarter ticks on down. Timeout on the field, quarter change upon us. The final 12 minutes set to take place here along the state line. Harmony Grove well in control of this one, 33-0. We're back in 60 on the Dragon Sports Network. Final 12 minutes of action set to begin here from the Muse, Paul H. Muse Field at David Carpenter Stadium. And for the first time in Junction City, the namesake coaching inside the stadium named after him. 33-0 is our score. CHG on top of the Dragons. 2nd down and forever. That's going to be a direct snap. I believe that went to Hubbard, who's in at quarterback. No, correction, that was Billingsley. He's going to pick up 5. 3rd down and 15. Correction, 3rd and 14.
Well, they're going to stick with that formation here.
Another big 3rd down here. You'd like to see Junction City hold them. And again, it might just still be 4 down. Four down. Ball's on the ground. I believe Junction City's going to come away with the football. And no, quick whistle says, yeah, Harmony Grove was able to get, Hubbard was able to climb back on it. So I believe the Hornets going to be forced to punt here.
I think it was 52, Jordan Banks. He shot through that line quickly, and he's the one that disrupted that play.
I'm telling you, that defensive front is the front 7, I should say.
Yeah.
Really the whole defense. We've seen some plays made in the secondary as well. The whole defense has done well. McCann, jack of all trades, He does all the kicking for the Hornets as Key lets that roll inside the 10. And Junction City going to have to go a long way if they're looking to erase that goose egg here. 10:50 to play in the final quarter of action. Week 0 here, the Arkansas high school football season. Next week, the Dragons travel over a couple of counties into Lafayette County to take on the Cougars. First time those two teams will tangle since, I believe, the historians down below, but I believe since the 2003 playoffs.
Been a minute.
That was an interesting game there.
Yeah, it was.
I think the final was like 21-7. I think Junction had like 8 fumbles.
It was a lot closer than I think a lot of the folks on this side of the stadium wanted it to be, and certainly the gentleman down there with the headset wanted that one to be. But they'll tangle next week in Stamps. Another non-conference game for Junction City. And handoff goes to Williams. Trudges forward for a couple of yards. And Jordavian looks like he might be cramping.
Running out of bodies to send out there.
Key checks in. Johnson heads off the field.
Ball on the 10-yard line.
Now Hudson takes over for Williams as he's able to get to the sideline. 2 receivers to both sides of the formation for the Dragons. And high snap corralled by DeBose, but nowhere to go. It's been that backside pursuit by Harmony Grove that's really kept Corey from really getting anything going.
DeBose, that was a decent little play right there, though. It could have
been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse.
You got to give it to DeBose on both sides of the ball. He's been all over. He's been running all over the field.
9.5 minutes to play here in the ball game. Series between these two teams well on its way to being 13-12 in favor of Junction City. Grove looking for their 4th straight victory against the Dragons. DeBose sets, throws, passes complete out to the far side. It's going to be a first down.
Did it get out or stay out?
It's going to be a first down, and actually losing the football is going to pick him up a couple of more yards.
He knew what he was doing.
As it went out of bounds. That was Jay Carter on the reception.
Jay Carter, his uncle was a pretty good little football player. You remember him, Anthony Carter?
He was a good ball player.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed, he was a good ball player. First down and 10 for Junction City. They move it up past the 20, mark it at the 23, going to operate off the far hash, moving right to left. Key and Owens to the left. Johnson and Carter to the right, and quick pass out, and it's incomplete. DeBose was pressured basically right when he got the snap. Saw white jerseys.
Hudson tried to pick it up. He just couldn't get over there quite quick enough.
Clock stops after the incompletion. Actually, there's going to be a injury timeout. I believe the cramping's starting to really take effect here.
Could you tell who that was, Jacob?
It might have been Singleton. 64 maybe. It's hard to tell. We're going to step aside for 30 seconds. Be back soon here on the Dragon Sports Network.
Oh, helmet toss.
8:56 to play in the fourth quarter. Cramping really taking a toll on Junction City. DeBoe's going to work out of the pistol, high snap, and he's just going to have to get on top of the football. And so 2nd and 10 is going to turn into about 3rd and 24. And they're going to have to spot the football inside the 10, and I believe the 7 is where they're going to mark it. Actually, we'll give them the 8.
Third down for the Dragons. with
3rd
30 to go.
3rd and 30.
Ball on the 8-yard line.
And DeBose calls timeout immediately when he saw the defensive formation. I don't know if it was
I think it cost a delay of game also.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The play clock was winding down. So we're going to step aside with them. 8:03 to play, fourth quarter action. Back in 30 seconds on the DSN. Dragons call a timeout to avoid the delay of game penalty. 33-0's our score. Going to work out of the pistol. High snap, kept on the ground. I believe that's Hudson on the carry for Junction City. Minimal gain, 2, maybe 3. They're going to run it up to the 10, so they'll give him 2 on the carry. Clock moves under 7:45 to play. 4th down, and the Dragons are going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, got to get back out there, fellas.
That's the thing. I mean, every one unit's all the units at this point. Clock under 7.5. Good snap. DeBose has got it, and he's actually going to lose the handle, and he's going to have to run with it. And they're going to actually be able to had something there over the middle. Was not designed by no stretch of the imagination, but nearly
no key was sitting there.
Nearly were able to turn that into something. But instead it falls incomplete, and Grove's going to have excellent field position here. Going to need just 10 yards to get to the end zone. 7.
Yeah, that would have fell right in the Key's lap.
Yeah, would have. And he would have had more room to.
Like you're saying, Carter didn't know. He's just trying to make a play.
Sure. He's just trying to make a play. You can't fault him for that at all. Can't fault him for that at all. Just trying to make a play. Grove takes to the field. Going to be operating mostly with reserves. And handoff, I believe that's Hubbard in the backfield. He's going to be wrapped up from behind. Flag comes out from
it might be a face mask for
judge. We'll see if
it was Tolles that made the play. He just got a little aggressive up there at the face mask, I believe.
Tolles is a sophomore?
Let's look and see. Yeah, tough sophomore. He's a good-sized kid, too.
We've seen a lot of sophomores out there on the field for Junction making some plays tonight.
Definitely a young team.
And so that'll move the Hornets even closer. Ball's at the 3. Clock moves under 7 minutes to play. And Hubbard's going to be hitting the backfield. Hudson's there, still on his feet. Still moving, and he might have got across the goal line. Actually, he's going to be just short at the 1. Junction City's pursuit to the football was tremendous, but you have to think that the effort from Hubbard was maybe just a little bit better. He kept those feet churning. and was able to move down to the 1 yard line.
Second down.
Clock moves under 6.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. Hornets break the huddle. And a good crowd on hand, especially on the CHG side. They brought a lot of folks down from Washita County. High snap, corral. They're going to throw, and a good tackle there.
DeBose shot
Who
the
was
gap.
that? That was
DeBose.
DeBose. Nicely done from Corey.
He did the play prior, too. He busted it up then. He did a good job.
Flying in. That defense still moving around, trying to make as many plays as they can. So it'll be 3rd down and goal. But they'll have to go 11 for the end zone.
3rd down for Harmony Grove. Ball on the 11-yard line.
And they'll give to Hubbard once again. He'll work right side, cuts all the way back across the play, and good play there by Junction City defensively. The one that held on as long as he could before.
Smith.
That's yes, Keon Smith, the junior
coming out. Let's see who this is.
And now a flag, starting to get a little chippy out there.
Another one.
And now another flag, and we've got an official pointing at a couple of Harmony Grove players, so it's probably going to end up being offsetting.
One pointed back at us there.
We've got 1 player down. 3 flags are on the field.
Coach.
Yeah, we're going to step aside for 60 seconds. We'll be back here shortly. Have it all ironed out for you here on the Dragon Sports Network. Go. 27-yard field goal attempt here from McCann. Good snap. Hold us down, and he got absolutely every bit of that football. Through the uprights and good. 36-0 added on, and that will start the sportsmanship rule is now in effect, and we will see a continuous clock through the end of the contest. 36-0 is our score. As the clock's going to tick down to probably around 4.5 minutes until kickoff. Guys, when you look at Junction City defensively, Groves had the football. I mean, you're going to look at 24 minutes here in the second half, and it wouldn't surprise me if we look up and they've had it for about 18. When you start looking at time of possession, second half time of possession, they're going to end up having the football for around probably I would say 17, 18 minutes.
Absolutely, and it's played a factor too. I mean, man, they've ate clock. They've done what they had to do.
They did. They did what they had to do. And credit Coach Horskamp. Some of the articles written about the matchup earlier this week, they feel like they've got one of their best teams, if not the best team he's had at Harmony Grove, and it certainly shows. They got some playmakers. They've been solid defensively. Kept Junction City off balance. And you're going to have to pick the football up, and it's going to be dropped and fumbled. And I believe Grove's going to have it inside the 10. And so Grove will have it 3:38, clock ticking. And so the defense will head back out on the field.
To push the ball on the 9-yard line. First down for Harmony Grove.
Grove going to operate 1st and 10, Junction City. Folks, I don't know if you can tell, but Junction City is absolutely gassed. There is absolutely nothing left in the tank. I think that's safe to say.
And that's making, it's causing them to make mental errors.
Sure,
you can see
sure. You're
Hands on the
exactly right.
hips. I
And
mean,
not
it's
making.
just-
I'm not making excuses for them at
No.
all. I'm just saying. I mean that they are the hands on the hips. They are done. They are gassed.
That starts in the summer, Jacob. Put in the work in the summer, and you'll pay the rewards in week 1.
Estrada there again.
One thing's for sure, he hadn't slowed down much tonight. He has been all over the place, and you like to see that, especially
had a
out
heck
of
of
a
a game.
senior.
Yeah.
Especially out of a senior, you like to see that. You know, whether you're saying anything or not, it's all about leading by example, leading by how you act and how you play. And I think several teammates could look at number 65 and pull a lot from the way he's played so far tonight. Final 2 minutes nearing here in week 0. Harmony Grove going to come away with the victory. Junction City hoping to bow up one last time here and potentially keep the Hornets out of the end zone.
Is that their starting quarterback back in, Jacob?
Yeah, starting quarterback.
I
think
believe
all
it
he's
is.
doing handing off.
I
But
believe it is. He's handing off.
That was Estrada then on the tackle again, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. He got off the bottom of the pile at least.
It's a good sign.
Final 90 seconds. It's going to be 3rd and goal for the Hornets. Split back out of the shotgun. I'd like to see a defensive stop here. And good
DeBose.
play there from DeBose. Shot out of a cannon from his safety position. He was able to make the stop. 4th and goal now.
I kind of want them to trot that field goal kicker back on.
And
Let
I
me see that
believe,
leg
and
one
I
more
believe
time.
that's what they're doing. I believe they're going to run him back out onto the field. Ball's going to be spotted at, I believe, it's going to look like it's inside the 12. We'll give him the 12, fellas. Spot will be the 19. He just booted one from 27 that would have been good from 35 plus, and now he's got an opportunity here from 29 yards out. Actually, they're giving him the 13. That may be a little lenient. We'll give him the 12 here from the press box. So 29-yard attempt. Middle of the field, and it is up and it is through.
12,
It
13, 23.
up
It don't
and through.
matter.
So now it's 39-0.
Hard to believe he missed a kick earlier in the game.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, you're right. It is hard to believe that. I believe it's 39-0 if I'm correct, fellas. I believe it was 30.
35, I believe. But no, it should be 36. It should be 39. You're right.
Yeah, I believe it was 33-0, and then they made the first one. Make
We
it 36.
apologize.
Yeah,
We apologize for the way they do it down here, but I saw some positives in
And
week 1. I saw some negatives.
That will do it. The clock will expire, and that wraps it up here in week 0. Junction City falls in the season opener 38-0 to Camden Harmony Grove. The Hornets win their 4th straight against Junction City. The all-time series moves to 13-12 in favor of the Dragons. And we're going to step aside for 2 minutes. Be back with more on the Dragon Sports Network.
Final score, Harmony Grove 39, Junction City 0. And if that sounds like deja vu all over again, that was the score last year up in Ouachita County. Let's go downstairs to Mr. Chad Rhodes with final game stats.
All right, Wayne, Harmony Grove had 316 yards of total offense. Junction City had 95 yards. That was 76 yards of passing, 30 for Harmony Grove, 34 for Junction, 240 yards rushing for Harmony Grove, 61 yards for Junction, 16 first downs for Harmony Grove, 6 for Junction City. And again, with our biggest highlights was on defense. We had DeBose with 10 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 sack, 1 interception. Hudson had 8 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and Estrada ended the game with 7 tackles.
All right. Thank you, Chad. Great job by Chad and Rev on the stats for us. Stats brought to you by Glenn Mechanical. And gentlemen, joining me here in the Lanxess post-game show. Brennan, you did the game alone with Jacob, and of course Daniel Wood on the second half. I'm going to throw something at y'all. You heard the stats, and I was thinking about the halftime stats. If I understood it right, and my Miss Estelle Waller math is correct, we had 1 first down in the second half and 3 yards of offense. Now I'm going to give it to you, Brennan. Let's hear it.
It sounds pretty accurate. I'm not going to lie to you, Wayne. They, which now Harmony Grove had the ball 95% of the second half. They did an extreme job of holding onto the football and eating the clock, and we got some things to clean up. Let's just be honest. There's stuff to work. I mean, there's stuff to build on, though. I mean,
all right, let's start. A very good point. We got stuff we got to clean up. Daniel, start the laundry list.
Well, first off, biggest thing is conditioning, which that should have been happening during the summer. It's an issue that I think is going to be able to be fixed with games in practice. And just some mental mistakes that you just can't make. I mean, there's certain ones like just DeBose. I mean, he played his heart out and everything. He's running for his life back here, but you can't just throw the ball up sometimes and just hope there's going to be a play down there when you got triple coverage. I mean, there's things that can be fixed, and I'm sure the coaches are going to get together, watch this film and everything. They're going to figure something out for next week.
Brennan, continue with the laundry list.
Wayne, I mean, D-Wood pretty much summed it up. I mean, work on wrapping up, limiting big plays, man. Big play, it defines this ball game, big plays. And kind of like D-Wood said, just don't try to hit the home run every time. Maybe take the inside route. I want to see the receivers fight to the ball a little bit. You know, I mean, I know DeBose was throwing him up a little bit. He was playing his heart out, like Daniel said, but see him fight back to that football just a little bit better next week. And build on this. Don't put your head down. I mean, this is week 1. We're young.
This is week 1. Let me also put this out there. It is week 1. You get better from week 1 to week 2. What do you start on first? What is the first thing you go, okay, guys, we got to do this? I will start with it, and I'll say, you got to get yourself in shape.
Yeah, you ain't got much time to do it, but you build on this and come out with some intensity next week. I don't want to see no heads down. You come out, set the tone early.
Yeah. Lafayette County, I mean, they're a team that traditionally they haven't been that good. So, I mean, that's a team that you kind of want to look at, and you have an opportunity to kind of build yourself back up next week after a tough loss right here. Like Brennan said earlier, wrapping up, that's a big thing. I think some tackling drills are going to be done. But, I mean, it's tough when you don't have any depth and the conditioning wasn't there. But, I mean, there's things you can build on. I mean, there were positives in this game. I mean, you look at the scoreboard, you see that score, you don't really think it. But there's positives that you can build on from this game.
And I'll say this. You got some guys that you need to check your attitude at the front of the Rosenwald Fieldhouse and leave it right there. You need to, hey, if I'm going to get out here and do this, I need to work. You got 3 coaches that are Hall of Fame coaches in their respective rights on that staff. They know what they're talking about. They know what you got to do.
They've been there.
You got them in the right – absolutely, they've been there. You looked at the sideline tonight, and we had Big Gary was here, Cornelius Frazier here with Corn, and Darryl Holiday, and we're all saying the same thing. You're looking at that sideline going, yeah, I understand you're going to have some cramps here in August, but you're not going to look like – not everybody, not like this.
No.
I guess what I'm getting at is this. You're going to put on that uniform and play. Put everything you got into it. Make it – you're determined you're going to do the best you can. Whatever that is, do it. And if they do that, they'll be surprised where they'll find themselves come late November. Now, people go, wait a minute, you just got beat by 39 and you're saying late November? I'm saying if you get out there and do what the teams did back in 07, 08, and 09, I'm talking about the commitment, not the talent and all that. I'm talking about the commitment. There's enough talent there for this team to be successful. But there's some guys, hey, I need to listen to these coaches. I need to work my butt off. I need to do what it takes to be the best I can be.
Exactly.
You can't rely on the name Junction City anymore. You got to earn that name.
No.
The jersey's not a given.
The jersey's not a given. That's why I kept saying you're going to put that jersey on.
Because everybody else in the state's going to give you the Junction City treatment.
Yeah.
Everybody else is going to give you your name, but you got to earn to be a Dragon, man.
Let me tell you something. If you're Lake Village or somebody else, you see that score, you go, we owe these guys one.
Oh, definitely.
Exactly.
We owe these guys one.
Because there was a lot of years there, man, we gave them out.
That's it. Final thoughts. Daniel, start with you. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I mean, it's a tough one. It is a tough week 0, I guess you can call it, is what they but, I mean, Grove, they're highly ranked for a reason. I mean, they have the talent. The quarterback showed that he can hit passes. That one when he was rolling out to his right, and he just slung it right across the middle and hit a good route.
That's when you look at him like, man.
And then, I mean, they've got some talent. I mean, they're good. They're going to be there in the playoffs, and they're going to make a good run. But this Junction team can be better. And if they listen to the coaches like you've been saying, Dub, I mean, they will improve.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, it's been a long time since you've seen those three on the sideline. It's been since 08.
Yep.
Des Arc State Championship game.
You're right.
Those coaches know what they're doing. And if you listen to them, they're going to lead you somewhere. But it's if you're going to listen to them.
You got to listen, man.
That's it. Brandon?
Clean it up. Let's see how they come out next week. Watch some film. Make some changes. Just work, man. Just work. Bring it next week, and we'll talk more on that next week. We'll see what kind of intensity they come with.
Good point. And that next week will be in Lafayette County against the Lafayette County Cougars. For the entire DSN staff, I'm Wayne Pumphrey. Have a blessed night and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next Friday night from the land of the Cougars.
The following has been an exclusive presentation of the Dragon Sports Network.